Hello.
Orthodox comes, like we kind of know what we're seeing that mask on that Thor, like the
Hello.
different
Hello,
specialties.
everyone.
We kind of know what works for them.
We're
So I
live
feel
for
like,
Americas.
yes, it could be considered those are surprise picks, but they're not really. Like we know what we're gonna see from them.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, and it's tricky. They have a ton of fans. They're incredibly fun to watch, right? That team of, we lost as we see them heading over to Krakoa, but it seems like when the team is able to stop that snowbally rush comp, they struggle heavily. So we'll see if, the side of Lunex has done their homework here and they're able to battle back on our first map. It's going to be Krakoa.
I think this, like, straight up, I mean, it's kind of like what you guys were saying. You're believing in Lunex, right? And then we lost. They've been, like, always a team that has been weird, like you guys mentioned, like you said, Zoe. So I think this will be a fun one. And really, it's a matter of, I was talking to you in the green room about this, Zoe. I feel like, Lunex are that, like, sort of young, up-and-coming team and getting better every series, but, still have to beat that older brother and we lost that have always done well versus them.
I think that's a great call out, right? Like, I mean, I think this is a big test to see, truthfully, if Lunex has grown throughout this tournament. I think if they get this win, that changes things. What do you think, Zoe?
Yeah, it's like we lost is like the person from the past who's like ruining your chances with your new friend group. You're like, no, I'm with them, and then like we lost is coming. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting from this one. But yeah, I mean, we lost is entertaining and as fun as
Hello?
they are. I mean, their last match yesterday.
Yes,
that just
we're
turned
live.
into,
We're
like,
live.
straight up mystery heroes. What did we play there? Black Panther, Hela was in the mix. Blade was being played. So. Yeah, I think doing the homework, looking at their most recent match, probably not a lot to derive from those. Honestly, there's not much you can take away from that. So let's see who is going to come out on top. I expect this one to go the distance. I want to see a very close match, and I want to see.
Yeah, we lost. Yeah, we lost.
I think they have. And this is our first map here in our lower bracket match. Guys, please take it away.
All right, so we've seen the match before, and it was definitely in we lost favor, but it's a best of 5 now. Things are definitely going to be different, and we'll see if Lunex has done enough homework to bounce back, because we lost against certain teams. They're just absolutely dominant, but it seems like they do have a little bit of a weakness sometimes.
Yeah, these first bans have always been, the Gambit and the Elsa first on opposite sides. So, like, the Daredevil Protect is definitely a little interesting for the side of we lost to make sure that's staying for Jitward.
They're going to get DD here.
But let's real quick go over the progresses between these two teams. I mean, obviously,
the Daredevil save is wild. I mean, I get why. I get why they need it.
An amateur team almost. And
does we lost 3-0? Guys?
Seriously fitting, because back in season 6 of MRC, I mean, we lost, and Lunex and Cafe was all qualified through that way, and we lost kind of dominated everybody. And
that is true. we lost is really good.
Lunex, and then
they gotta ban Elsa, right? They don't want to give Elsa and Gambit over.
And
those
maps as well. And then in the group stages, they had a closer match versus Lunex.
Oh, they're gonna ban Elsa on rotation? On next rotation?
It was at least
Strange is a good ban against we lost.
But regardless, it's always been we lost favored, even throughout the group stages back.
Oh no, Mantis.
Season 6.
Yeah, I couldn't.
One-sided Mantis.
Call out there. It's just like, again.
So they're giving Elsa and
stop this straight up rush at
Gambit over. Is that what's gonna happen? Is this an Elsa protect from Lunex?
Stacking as a ball and walking forward.
Oh, it's a Star-Lord protect.
You lose to it, and that's their strength. And I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like now as we see the lock-in of Star-Lord here for Lunex, and the removal of Strange is something that they've definitely learned, because Kendrick is absolutely absurd on that hero.
He is, and this.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Like, a team is
Elsa is already. Elsa's already banned. Those are my bad, guys.
For Lunex, that's why a lot of these guys get picked up for those organizations, is because they've shown that flexibility, and I'm sure both of these teams are already being looked at for how far they've gotten. And it's tough to not say that, okay, if I'm an organization, I would be down to just pick up the entirety of either squad now. Like, even Cafe Rose.
Oh, there's the Elsa
too,
Protect,
right?
though. There's the
Like,
Elsa Protect that I was talking about.
They were also a good team and close to qualifying if just 1 or 2 matches went their way. But ban phase, we get that Van Pool ban out at the very end. Mantis, we've seen how strong that character could be into the triple. And it seems like Shiv nowadays, people are even running a triple strategist with, like, the Loki, Cloak and Dagger and stuff, but it's the Hulk ban on the opposite side for Heart Lover. So
I'm stupid.
Targeted.
Elsa's already banned.
Yeah.
My bad, guys.
And I think, you mentioned the triple backline. It's worth, while we're talking about that, worth mentioning, folks, just if you don't know, they're playing on the last patch here, so we don't.
Yeah, they're playing on patch 7.
Changes, although I do.
So we lost gets Daredevil and and Elsa to
that stuff won't
like
be
their
in
best
play right now,
DPS,
so
I
if
would
you're
argue.
expecting it, you know, maybe asking where Black Cat is, it's not going to be seen on the screen. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot
Star-Lord
of
and
options for
Gambit
both
on the
teams
side
here, but I
of
think
Lunex. Are they going to run Gambit?
that Yeah We Lost hasn't necessarily
Ultron?
needed to
The hell?
diversify their comp too much because
White Fox?
whenever they
Is it
run
Gambit,
this
Ultron,
comp, they
White
find
Fox?
success
For
unless
Lunex?
it's against the very top teams. Like we've kind of reiterated, but Lunex, they really have played a ton of different stuff. They can run the Rogue, and that's why you're going to see that banned out because Gambit was allowed through, but even with allowing Gambit through, they're electing to not run it right now, and they have a Jeff Ultron backline.
Yeah, I think they
that's
gotta
gonna be an
swap off the
interesting one,
Jeff.
Chip. Like you can make it work. I mean, you can. It's possible
For sure.
Silent, but
I don't
like,
think
I
so.
mean, I guess they'll probably speed boost out of spawn, maybe switch it back. But yeah, that
True.
would be still to do, like you said, run that Ultron alongside, you know, really anything in the backline is, you know, that two Stratus backline is very unique. But also, I don't believe we've seen these teams play on Krakoa versus each other just yet. It's been a lot of Celestial Husk, been a lot of Hell's Heaven. So this is gonna be the first time that we get to see these two teams specifically match up here on this map.
Okay.
But you know, it's as you said, Chip, they are doing it with the Venom team up. Maybe assuming that there's enough healing there with that sort of combination.
And well, they're kind of taking a page out of Yeah We Lost book because Logan made the switch over to Strap Pool there to have that as an option. So I think the idea is maybe get
Strap
some levels
Pool.
in here. And, you know, Vanpool's off the table.
What's
so
up,
I don't
guys?
know
What's
if
up,
we are gonna see a
everybody?
switch there, but electing to use some more damage. As Mask's able to find one here, and that's an early start for the side of Yeah We Lost.
Yup,
Making
we got
it
the
2v
watch party
6
going.
And Mask again finding the rest of the squad, setting the tone and saying, all right, welcome into MRI. We're moving forward. And they're going to try to walk with this
Burr,
momentum.
patapim.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
a
like
funny
it.
name.
Just immediately winning that first fight, just able to pressure off the side of Lunex. And it's funny because, yeah, we lost. I don't think we're really like Vanpool believers until this week, like this past week specifically. Like talking
Yeah,
to
kind of,
Jitward,
sort of.
they seem
I would
they
agree
like
with
the
that.
Strap Pool. It seemed like Deadpool they love in general. But okay. Meanwhile, Strap Pool gets picked up by Zatex early. And
Zatex.
Zatex the Elsa, right, dude?
Yeah, Zatex got insane aim. Really good tracking there. Finding a pick as Xantho takes out Redis. And this is looking dominant already with Yeah We Lost. They are just like the counter. It's like fire and water for Lunex, and it's seeming like that's still the case here.
Yeah.
33% in because Yeah We Lost haven't dropped a single body yet on their side. Lunex.
Yeah, we lost.
falling over
Unfortunately,
left
they're
and
just
right. Here,
below
they
TLC
essentially
and
just got
potentially
regrouped.
Swamp Gaming.
Absolutely. I mean, they have an early ultimate committed by Mask. They go deep again. And
Yeah, I mean, Lunex just gave them their best heroes. Unironically, Lunex just gave them their best heroes, guys.
Been absolutely snuffed by the side of Yeah We Lost. Just an absolute force, a tsunami towards Lunex's spawn doors. Just constant pressure at all times with the Deadpool ultimate. Lunex not able to build up a single fight like in terms of ultimates at all. So we'll see if they can finally get something moving forward. They still can peel off for Yeah We Lost side and play aggressive like they have been. I mean, they're all the way in their spawn still.
Yeah, prior to that initiation there by Mask, it was just neutral pick after neutral pick before every fight, and then the team just kind of crumbles. You can't allow that as an Exhibit A, but that one's not neutral. Instead, that's just going to be the Glartrox finding a little snack. Jitward onto Silent. Cart again onto Tico. Come on now.
That'll be
Yeah,
tough.
we lost.
That'll be
Not
tough for
missing a beat.
Zatex.
Dude, have they lost a single body? I don't believe they have.
Yo, everybody from TikTok joining in. What's up? What's up? Spam the likes. Spam the likes.
It's surprising, almost. I feel like I would like to see them on the Loki for Logan. You know, I know they really value Deadpool, but right now they just can't get anything going. The pressure has been too much, and it seems like it's continuing, dude. Diving on Redis first. The Jeff doesn't seem like it's going to live much longer. They're ticking overtime.
Yeah.
This feels inevitable.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, the commitment's coming through here from Lunex, but it doesn't matter as Zatex able to find Tico early on, and that's some good focus there on a Tones who's just trying to stall and get to this point to ensure they can make that portal play happen. Goodbye, Tones, though, from Kendrick. Jitward again, and Zatex. Everybody is finding a KO, and wow.
Round one's already
that
over, guys.
was
Round one's already
brutal.
over.
Round one. Yeah,
Round
we
one
lost
already
13.
over, by the way.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was locked in for sure. And Lunex will have to see what they want to like go back to in the drawing board. But for Yeah We Lost, not much to say besides pure dominance. I like you mentioned, Chip, I don't think they had even maybe like one person go down in that last fight.
Oof.
And it's tough because like Mask also has just lapped Logan an ultimate charge. Like you would think it's like it'd be a difference in that department, but no, it hasn't. Mask has just been insane after, you know, like you mentioned, a lot of Thor yesterday, goes on to the Vanguard Deadpool and has looked beautiful so far.
Yeah, I think Vanguard Deadpool is incredibly strong in this meta. Obviously going to be changed up as it shifts towards the current meta that we're playing in client right now. You can see the shift from Tico, though. I like this change onto Fox. Fox, one of the few strategists that can go toe-to-toe with things like DD. Matt Murdock is a problem for virtually everyone, but the Fox is not afraid much. Honestly, I do think it's not a bad switch up, but we'll see if, Fox is able to mark Jitward, and Jitward's looked really good so far. A lot of picks early on. Yeah, we lost. Yesterday it was tough. It was tough to witness. They just were crumbling. They could not find their footing, but again, it was against a team that's just so storied, that maybe that's the only reason, but we'll see if there could be a bounce back. But right now, it does not look like it as Xantho finds Regis early on.
A huge pickoff. Jeff Ult on the opposite side. They go through.
Yo, what's up, guys?
At least one, but okay. Silent Blaze gets deleted by T.
We are doing Yeah We Lost
this is just
versus
dominance, like straight up, like you mentioned, Shib. And this is interesting.
Lunex. And yeah, I mean, YWL is just killing them, by the way. YWL is just absolutely destroying these guys.
Maybe they try to bunker a little bit, but straight up in the mirror, it just feels like it's not going their way in any single fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think things need to change.
And they got both their best heroes, though. They got both Daredevil and they got
now that you're noticing that, you gotta
Elsa. And then they're also running White Fox, Jeff backline. Like, this is pure dive. This is a pure dive backline from Yeah We Lost.
Not afraid at all with a triple. Come on, Glartrox in hand. 3 ults available here for Yeah We Lost, who still have advantage right now.
This Kendrick swap over to the White Fox, I think, has been a big part of it as well. I'm not trying to force some Luna Snow stuff at either. They're just able to help at all times. Regis commits the ultimate iffy finally with something on the opposite side. But are these going to be fruitless? Maybe just one. Can you find any more? The answer is no, Shib. It's fully disengaged at the moment for Yeah We Lost.
Yeah, Logan also switching to play that gambit, which, when available.
Glartrox.
Some teams don't think
it's
strong, but
they're rolling. They're rolling these guys. Like, they're straight up rolling these guys.
Yeah, We Lost bounce back, lose a little bit there, come back with a vengeance, and still retake that point after a 11%. Dude, are you joking me? I mean, Logan does have ult available. This needs to be the tone set change here for Lunex. They need to find value right now, or it's over.
Yeah, they do, and it's getting pressure on the opposite side. Like, you lose Regis towards the point who went for that cap, pressured out, Tones goes down, back towards the spawn. They literally are touching the spawn. This is the most Yeah We Lost game of all time. They're touching the spawn door, looking like TSM on Central Park at the current moment, because Yeah We Lost are really showing a ton of confidence at the moment over their, rival that they've always beaten.
Yeah. Again, dude, it really.
I mean, just look at what these guys are doing. Look at what these guys are doing.
It's water and fire. It's brutal.
They're insane, bro. They're insane.
Good escape there in the moment by Cart. Trying to dodge the itch, Jeff. The tackle comes through. Tico gonna find one, though. Get a little bit of vengeance, and there's that commitment. This needs to go in their favor if they want a chance at this. Regis dropping backwards after being committed with the Ban Hammer. Able to find one onto Jitward, and that's the value they needed. 2 down, but look at that percentage on point. 94 and climbing. Gonna be 99 by the time they even get. Oh, my goodness. Zatex finding one. Will this turn around again? Zatex on point. Cart dancing there as well. Overtime ticking down. Mask with a pick, and they just drop back. Retake, and now OT is falling to a sliver. It is gonna go, and yeah, we lost favor here. I can see the writing on the wall. Numbers falling once more. Mask again, Xantho, and that is it, folks. Yeah, we lost. Wow.
Yeah, they ain't losing today.
I mean, it's just 2-0. That was close.
At least, like,
that wasn't even close. That wasn't even close.
That's why we can't afford to give that early Daredevil protect that came through to Yeah We Lost, because their dives were too coordinated, right? Like, I think Jitward was talking to me about this as well. Like, he's like, yeah, Deadpool's just broken because you're given wall hacks, and if you have your IGL, like a very vocal leader playing the Deadpool, the dives can be perfect. You could, like, just dive the correct target every single time. Jitward obviously going down the most with 2 KOs. What a feeder. But obviously a joke there, because Jitward is just that guy with this squad right now. And same thing with Zatex. Like, Zatex was just popping off, like you said on the Elsa.
Yeah, we dominate. Yeah, we win. At this point, these guys, when they're in their bag, when they're playing a comp that they're comfortable on into a team that can't quite figure it out, it's unstoppable. Zatex with 18 finals, 14K damage, and not going down a single time. 39-0. Folks, will this continue to be the story? Can Yeah We Lost shut this down quickly?
Bro, how dominant?
Right after this break.
Look how dominant. Look how dominant. Look how dominant this is. Hi, Mr. Not Watch Party today. I didn't watch party EMEA. I only didn't watch party EMEA, bro. I couldn't watch party in the morning. I'm only watch partying Americas today. Tomorrow I'm doing both. But today I couldn't in the morning. And you know what's crazy? I fucking missed arguably the best day of EMEA. I'm so mad, man. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I mean, sure, but I mean the first day, right? The first day was insane. The first day was insane. My cover didn't save, bro. What the heck? Dude, Yowie lost is gonna 3-0 this. Oh, damn. You already won a map? Yeah. They dominated 99-0. 99-0. 99-0. Vaudable. 99-0, bro. 99-0. I really just want to watch. Honestly, I really just want to watch Team Liquid Citadel and honestly Swamp. I think the last 3 are gonna be bangers. I think this first series is not gonna be good. Sen versus Hunter did not start yet. That is next. That is right after this series. That is right after this series. That is right after this series. Yeah, but it's gonna start soon. Like, I think Yowie lost is gonna 3-0 Lunex, unfortunately.
Well, it appears to be a speed run attempt here from We Lost.
We Lost is trying to speed run them.
From what happened to them yesterday.
They're going quick. I hope they go quick on these breaks, low key.
Seems like the bear has been poked. But yeah, for Lunex, it really seems like they're just playing against their kryptonite here. Like, this is very, very unfortunate. They did not make as many adjustments, I feel like, as I wanted to see from them. I feel like in the previous series we've seen from them in the playoffs, they made adjustments quickly, compositional adjustments, and also just their general game plan. They were able, very quick on their toes to make those changes. This time they seemed a little more unwilling to do so.
Yeah, this kind of probably goes to what I feel like is that the side of We Lost are striking while the iron's hot, right? Like, it's tough for Lunex, I suppose, to react.
I mean,
when
I feel like, again, We Lost, I put them as the 3rd best team in my standing. So, like, I have them finishing 3rd overall. My takeaway. And depending on how the Sentinels 100 Thief game goes, we shall see if I'm still correct. Like, that was just one-sided. Because after Team Liquid Citadel and Swamp, it's going to be 100 Thieves. The winner of We Lost and Lunex versus the winner of 100 Thieves and Sentinels. That's going to be a banger game too, by the way. All those games are going to be bangers. Like, legit, all those games are going to be bangers.
Big teams like Swamp Gaming. It was Tones on Hog, Iffy on Venom. Like, they were able to dive Valentina and Forky Dog and the likes of it in order to apply that.
It's going to be massive, bro.
To do that in this very game because... Yeah, I mean, We Lost was just constantly in their face. Like, they constantly lost members. They didn't get a single kill in the first round whatsoever. So it's like, yeah, tough spot to be.
Are you guys liking the format?
Ahead,
I mess with the format, low-key.
Because Domination, actually, the worst map type for We Lost. They got that one out of the way, and now they're looking.
Yeah, this is potential 3-0 from We Lost, guys. This is a potential 3-0 from We Lost.
And Lunex, not so much. Those are their weaker map types.
They have to think about a map that, like, maybe dive comps aren't that good.
Ooh, we're going to Midtown, bro. That's Vaudable's favorite map.
Word on Daredevil early just because they got that protect. I mean, the Gambit stuff is good, and I know that I think Xantho was talking about how they do run the Gambit.
All right, what's up, chat? What's up, chat? What's up, everybody?
I mean, specifically with Jetward on the Daredevil, also giving Zatex the Elsa.
Wait, Vaudable, you should join me for the last 2 matches. Maybe not this one, but maybe the last 3. Up to you, though. I think Sen 100 Thieves. You should join me for Sen 100 Thieves. I think that's going to be a banger. Sen 100 Thieves and Liquid Citadel versus Swamp Gaming. I think those two. If you have the energy. I know you had a fucking crazy day. If you have the energy. If you don't, it's all good.
Rush dive compositions. We'll see if they, pull something out. I do think You know, they want to run that rogue stuff that I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, you had a banger day today. Dude, I kind of wish you were. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, but Lunex,
I'm not gonna say
again,
anything.
they're familiar with their opponent here. They know what is coming out. They know what they should be focusing on. Like, it's not a surprise that Zayas
Yeah.
is popping
Yeah.
their nails out, right?
Okay.
Like, Lunex
Oh.
know that.
You know what I
Let's see
mean.
they have
You know what I
in store
mean.
For us for the second ban phase and for the second map, hopefully tying up the series.
All right, my friend. In we
No,
go.
I think this is gonna be
You can see
3-0.
The Gambit float on the side of Lunex, removing that. Match right back, not allowing the Elsa. So the mismatch, will come through.
Okay, so one-sided Gambit versus one-sided Elsa.
Remove that rogue like they did in the past.
Yeah, I think
Oh
that's
my God.
interesting considering the last map. I mean, I could see the Gambit doing well.
That's better than zero.
Or ban on the opposite
Better
side
than
of the
nothing.
Gambit. But like this kind of goes back to what like.
Hopefully
we
it's
were talking
banger
about
days,
bringing
though.
over Shib as the Daredevil Protect comes through. Like everything is kind of good. Like Phi and VP were tweeting or Xing rather. They were like, man, everything is good, but also bad at the same time. You brought that up, right, Shib? But like.
The meta is so good. Guys, I promise you the meta is so fun to watch right now in Marvel Rival. And I can't wait till stage 1, bro. Season 8, it's going to be such a banger.
For Lunex, for example, are playing around like Logan's Loki, and like they were doing good with the even Cloak and Dagger stuff at points. So I feel like going for early protects of what you're good at is kind of a smart play, no?
Season 8 probably drops Cyclops, most likely. I don't know. This again, speculation. I don't get any information. But Season 8 probably drops Cyclops. I can't imagine Cyclops in pro play, bro. That shit's gonna be fire.
Ladder may not see the light of Mantis, but that damage boost does more than just enable quicker combinations and one-shot combos. Instead, it also gives you alt charge faster, as you see the removal here, or the lock-in of Jeff.
Ooh, nice Jeff save from Yeah We Lost. I wonder if Lunex is gonna ban the White Fox away from them, because Yeah We Lost just rolled them with Jeff White Fox, and it was kind of
Lunex aren't taking advantage of this time.
They just fucking rolled him.
Ban.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess the problem with Lunex's ban phase to me is that, or I guess maybe the strength of Yeah We Lost ban phase and how it's going. Like they get out the heroes that are strong with Gambit very early.
Oh,
like,
Loki Gambit. Yeah, but Yeah We Lost doesn't care if you get Loki Gambit. That's the thing.
Like it's a smarter game plan.
They don't give a shit. Like they don't actually care. Yeah, I think saving the Van pool.
They're adapting late, but we'll see if it pans out. They do get that Van pool.
Yeah We Lost doesn't care if you get
do you think
Loki
enough
Gambit.
to deal
Are they gonna?
with
I don't even think they're gonna ban Loki here, are they?
I'm not sure if it's enough, but it's definitely not bad, right? Like it's a good thing to have right now. I do think they need to shake things up, and that is definitely a shake up from what we saw at least in the last.
I would
round,
like
where
them to
mismatch
ban.
honestly,
Really?
We lost it great.
Okay, yeah, they're just gonna ban Loki because they have nothing else to ban.
Threat 24/7.
They don't see anything else to ban.
I don't know if it's enough, buddy, because right now that looks so brutal in the last matchup. But I do think it's a start, and it can help peel really well. And
I wonder
that
if
back line.
any of them run
I guess the largest
the Winter
benefit, though,
Soldier.
for the side of Lunex is they don't have to deal with Zatex on the Elsa, right? Like that was gross in the last map, so maybe focusing on that could enable them. And then maybe we lost it to think about trying to protect a Mantis early
Zatex,
or something.
Elsa, guys.
But this is still going to be kind of an interesting series. Midtown being a solid map to pick for Lunex. I think if we went to somewhere like Museum of Contemplation or Shin Shibuya, that would probably not go their way. But it does feel like, every Lunex are that. Lunex are just like it there, right?
Yeah, and this time brings you back what we've seen in other matchups where Lunex also got absolutely walked here by lost.
Hey, the YouTube stream is always behind a little
They
bit.
looked really good, but again, this is where these teams are going to homework. And you hope, you and I, buddy, we just want to see good games, right? So we hope to see Lunex step up in these moments and shake things up. You can see some weird stuff.
Unfortunately, I want to see, We lost YWL 3-0 so we can get to some banger matches.
In here in our preseason,
Like the next two matches, guys.
there's that switch to
Oh,
thing, which definitely
cinema. It's gonna be cinema.
Yeah, this is their mix-up. They get to play the Invisible Woman this time around for We Lost on their defensive side with the Adam Warlock, like you said, and
It's gonna be too
running
good.
That sort of interesting backline alongside Mask on that on Strap Pool. So obviously having like 3 people that can play Deadpool is always going to be valuable. But for Lunex's side, they get that anti, they get the cleanse available, ready to go.
Iffy is gonna go thing
like
here.
Seen other teams do at this situation. We'll see if they adapt to it later on. But
Oh, look at these maniacs. They're running. We Lost is running triple, but they're running Adam, Invis, and they're running support
in the series
Deadpool.
So far, they found the first pick.
Yeah, make it a two pieces.
Bonkers.
Goes down. That res will be available. And we've seen Adam here, folks. Again, Tones putting some more pressure on the res on the high side there. Zatex dropping.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the power of support Deadpool. Look at the aura of his ultimate and then his E as well.
Switching it to duelist later on for Jitward. That's all on the table, and that's why you want to try to get those levels early on for the strat line. Redis, though, again on
so much sustain. So much sustain, guys.
Right now, finding another pick as Logan takes out Zatex, and that res is gone.
Yeah, you can see, yeah, we lost.
Is Kendrick going to TP them in?
Going for that reset, and I think Mask was even opening his comic book to go for upgrades during his ultimate, which is...
Yeah, he went E during and then upgraded E again so he could get the E. Because when you upgrade your stuff, you get another cooldown of it. It refreshes the cooldown. So you can like E, you can double E. It's a really niche tech.
Really good positioning indoors here with the brawl comp. As out goes the boundary from Xantho. Yeah, we lost. There is that clobbering time. Can they follow up? Doesn't look like it got too much value. Low HP in a dream. And that is calling out for Vishanti. And will they get the pick? They do. Iffy able to find Zatex. No res once more. And another follow-up as Iffy finds a two-piece.
I mean,
and it looks like Lunex now are finding the solution they needed as Tones drops Kendrick. 3 numbers
is
down.
Sting the answer into yeah, we lost? Is it that simple?
Zatex, almost 80%.
Yeah, Tone's able to do so much after switching over to the Vanpool. Also, this team really pressuring out. Yeah, we lost ever since, you know, Xantho and the squad, and Zatex specifically is going to be on that Adam Warlock. So quite different. I think other teams we've
I want
seen
Zatex on
the
the
instead
duelist.
of Adam, a lot of Ultron. I think Cafe Rose, the other team that plays a lot of Adam Warlock, obviously now out of the preseason.
I want to see them on. I want to see them on DPS, bro.
They do have the Star-Lord ult.
They do have Adam ult, so maybe they can look into res and get one more contest. They have to get this last contest.
Just stacking on this point as you see the drop back. Out goes the commitment, the Galactic Legend, and it's combined now as we see the Banhammer fall.
Zatex needs ult. Zatex, why is Tones? What is this cam, bro?
A huge opportunity here. Is it gonna let it? Is as a massive
big Eye of Agamotto from Kendrick. Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
Now back and yeah, we lost favor. 1 minute and 20 seconds on.
The car's still moving.
Yeah, and the car was scooching forward there. 2 meters. Good catch there, buddy. But now it's going to be, at most, a 2-fight situation until Portal potential plays come through.
We have that 20%.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I failed to account for the fact in the previous fight they had the Straddle and Mask with the Deadpool. But okay, Tico finds the pick on the card under the Bruce Banner form.
We have to res. We have to res. Yeah, we have to res. Zatex has to res here.
With Jitward. So they're trying to fight right now for, yeah, we lost, but it seems like Lunex with the Invisible Boundary can fight into this res.
Zatex does bring everyone back, and that's the commitment you
need. It doesn't matter, though. If he has ult.
Oh!
It's done. He got exiled.
That point where it is. More commitment behind point.
Yo, he got exiled during ult. They missed it. If he got exiled during ult.
Of Lunex now. I have Agamotto available here for Tico. Then there's the opportunity. Will it land? It does find him. Can they clean him up? They do. Logan on a Jitward. Redis.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, though.
Ever closer here. They might be able to make that work, but you look towards
does not matter, guys.
And Zatex causing mayhem. Out goes that
Tico going crazy.
HP in a dream. Will it last? No. Xantho goes down. Iffy playing so clean here on the thing is Redis looking like a monster on the Star-Lord, and that should be point 1 in a moment, but the touch does come through. More
oh, wait a minute.
Legend 1 falls, and that should be on Zatex Jitward Mask, and wow, a penta here for Redis to give point 1.
Okay, but they wasted 4 minutes. 2.5 minutes, though. That's a lot of time wasted.
For a ton of fights, they're trying to go and fight on that objective. That's why they had the Adam Warlock. Now we go over the Ultron.
It's always interesting spectating Deadpool, the view model. Or I gotta turn Steam off with that.
In a way that you mentioned, Shib, where they just have to deal with these kind of characters that are inting, go for the fast dive. But there's that portal engage early from Yeah We Lost coming back through. But they get clobbering time by Iffy, who you pointed out, Shib, has been beautiful on the thing ever since switching.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Kendrick, I have Agamotto's. It doesn't matter.
That was a quick fight from Yeah We Lost, trying to play for the macro of the game. Next fight, though, Shib, Invisible Boundary available on the side of Lunex, and they fought around these straddles at a very
Zatex just
level.
immediately swaps back to Adam?
Have they bit up enough, or have they gotten enough time off the clock for the side of Lunex?
And I think it's a beautiful call out from map 1 that you made, that they just need to stay as a stacked unit. They need to bunker up, and they're doing that now off the back of having that thing available.
This is a very aggressive Invisible Boundary.
That moment is going to be able to make that pick happen, and that's a good tone setter. But you look back on the cart, and what's
your sole DPS? Okay, Zatex is finally playing Psylocke, bro. Thank you, thank God.
Is able to trade it right back onto Iffy in the front line. I was wondering, where's my heals at? You know what? They're getting smacked up and down by the Hulk. More commitment from Mask now, walking them forward, and that could be enough to send them back to the door and force at least some more time on the clock, or off the clock, I should say, as Zatex takes out Tico.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a little awkward. I mean, I thought Lunex were actually making Yeah We Lost uncomfortable, but it was actually
They were disjointed.
the opposite, right? Like, they sent somebody cart, went to cart, obviously trying to love that cart like he usually does, but for Yeah We Lost, they kind of didn't play around the, KO potential. Instead, Jitward gets
How is Jitward going down every fight first, bro?
Spawn camp. This is how they do things.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we lost. Just triples them.
This guy is on this hero.
Oh my God, Cart Lover. Cart Lover Hulk, bro.
Applied so much pressure in that fight. We talked about getting to that point.
Fucking Jitward went down. Didn't matter. Didn't matter, by the way. Jitward went down. Didn't matter.
They don't want to give them the chance to get to this point for free, and they don't want them to be able to portal. That is the idea right now. You can see Cart hiding, ready for that exile under. More commitment from the side of Kendrick. Walking backwards now as the boundary gets committed from Xantho to keep them on to this point. But there is the Raging Royal flush, and they're trying to...
They're gonna go touch Cart. They're just gonna...
Can here, Lunex. Can you escape? Not for long. Oh, Redis, though, pops off with the Galactic Legend. Will this work out? We see a ton of damage fall. Redis trades one as Jitward gets another.
Butterfly, 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 butterfly doesn't do anything.
Yeah, we lost. Finding one of those strats, but we'll see if that lasts. No! Iffy onto Zatex is keeping this moving. Kendrick in a tough spot here, down to about 100 HP. Oh my goodness! It is massive!
Massive Eye of Agamotto from Tico, dude.
Kendrick is looking low. That pick will follow. And wow, Lunex!
Lunex, literally, they didn't even fight him. They just ran to the cart. They sprinted to the cart.
Points flowing around the map like water, and you mentioned it earlier.
My God.
It feels like everybody's
My God, bro. What am I looking at?
See people in locations they probably wouldn't normally be, like team fights towards your own spawn.
What is this?
They went too far, went around it. Usually it doesn't happen. Usually it doesn't, like, you don't capitalize off a situation like that, but they were able to rotate around. Silent Blaze was able to live long enough. Now we're entering third point after a really, long and extended first and second point, but as long as you make the
minute only.
Special could happen for Lunex here, although, yeah, we lost to have ultimates in this upcoming fight.
Yeah, Cart's going to Venom now.
I
I don't hate the Venom.
If you will, to stay healthy.
I don't hate the Venom.
Top left, Tico finding Cart, and once again, Lunex getting these early picks. This is what they're looking for in this momentum. Dropping back towards the side of Jitward's dive, trying to get this pick, but it won't last long. Great healing there from Xantho, who's going to bring Yeah We Lost into a safer spot. But if he says not up in here, goodbye. Zatex. Kendrick falls from Tones, and Redis on to Mask. Really smart play once again by Lunex. But at this point, just going to try to fall onto the cart. Buy more time.
Yeah, they're really capitalizing off this Gambit stuff at the current moment. The previous map maybe not as much, right? Like I feel like Logan and them were just not able to set up.
Okay, Cart has ult.
Logan has a little bit more space to work with on this linear map type, which they
Xantho has ult. This could be a big ult for Xantho.
Against Yeah We Lost right now. However, 13 seconds left to go. Yeah We Lost can still win this one. Starlord ultimate started off.
Tico looking for a pick here and not able to make that work, but does find Kendrick after the fact. Almost an escape there. Redis on the map.
Oh, the building.
So much value in these Galactic Legends. It's been back to back to back now, folks, as Logan takes to the high side looking for Zatex. What a pick there.
Ooh, 78.
Everybody, honestly, is finding value as Logan gets another pick. We're going to see Tico's Eye of Agamotto get committed. Cart. No, with ultimate falls. Xantho with
Cart. Cart.
Overtime ticks down. And there's
Oh!
OT still up and healthy. 4 meters left as the It Chef lands. Does it get value? No. Xantho goes down. Another pick on a Jitward.
Bro, what a massive throw from YWL, man. They just played so far up on point 2, and they threw. What are we doing, YWL?
Yeah, we lost played. They were, very heavily focused about time bank after the first little.
Oh my God, man!
They played hard for time.
What are we doing?
Like their portal plays second point, their portal plays first point before the ambulance, the Adam Warlock, going down, getting KO'd on the card at the very beginning just to make sure he could use his cocoon early to have maximum uptime. So yeah, we lost to me. Seemed like they tried to play hard for like removing the time bank and not necessarily for just like winning any specific fight, just making it really tough on Lunex. So for Lunex, they realized that, just try to, win the fights they could. And, on the match, on the day, Lunex appeared to be the smarter team just with dealing with how Yeah We Lost were playing, who are now switching sides over to attack.
Beautifully put. And I mean, how about that Usain Bolt past their team right here at spawn for point 2? That was genius, because it is so difficult to get out of the door, especially when you can't portal, because they're waiting for you. They're expecting that portal play, so you gambit and run. And they made it there, found a few picks, and won them potentially.
Whatever, man.
Or at least all 3 points.
Whatever, bro. Whatever.
As we start up in a few seconds.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, they played it well first, but obviously now, yeah, we lost. Have a chance to up the tempo now that they're on attack like Lunex did. But it's like you said, Chip, that was actually just some sick locations and movement as a team.
I mean, yeah, they just ran past them because they were playing super far forward. Freaking goobers, bro.
But will it also get the same?
That's my favorite role, Vanguard.
Yeah, we lost. Move back over to Cart.
I love playing Vanguard in Marvel Rivals.
Once more.
Feeling a little more comfortable there in this composition for them. Trying to build some of that Deadpool leveling as Mask's able to find one, playing so aggressive here with Stratpool, and that's the value of Stratpool. Really can do it all. As the chase comes in, Cart trying to find this and Will onto Regis, a two-piece now. And this is a tough start here for Lunex. The tone is being set by, yeah, we lost. They want this space.
I mean, maybe both these guys just suck on defense.
They will clean up the rest. Ooh, counter portal.
Oh, yeah, counter portal. Let's see if that like actually enables them here. Going to the third phase, right, just to dump them off into the train side. And he's going to actually try to catch anybody, but they're not going for the portal play. Maybe he can catch somebody trying to fall back.
Oh, he got him! He got him! He got Silent Blaze! He got Silent Blaze with the portal!
And once more, yeah, we lost it. All right,
Genius, bro. Kendrick, genius. Genius.
Lock in and not give them a chance to breathe here. And they are just pushing them to the door, up 2 numbers already. The portal now gets committed after the fact. That should give them.
I need to learn that. Dude, that's the portal. Iju, what's up, brother?
I don't know how long it can last. As Zatex with a nice shot there on Aretas, making a 2-piece on a silent Zatex on this Ultron. Somebody stop this man.
No, yeah, we lost. May have thrown on defense, but their offense is fucking crazy, bro.
They're isolating Silent Blaze in the first 2 fights. That's all it really is. We still have like another fight if we want. Rita's trying to wait for everybody in the spawn doors, but they're gonna go.
Do they have another fight? I don't think so.
We did on offense a little bit, just try to keep Silent Blaze a little more healthy. Logan was in positions to keep him up.
I don't think so.
They're getting a little split, and that's mainly because of.
I got a content idea for you. I'm gonna test it out on stream tonight. Let you know how it goes in the DMs. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down, dude. Ichilu, we still gotta do the other content thing. We haven't. I completely forgot about it because I think you were sick, right, for those last two weeks. Yeah. We gotta do that one. I want to do that one. Dude, I forgot too. I completely forgot about it. We can film some this week. We can film some this week.
They have them after. At the door at every single fight, and they're winning every single fight on this attack.
I like the switch up at least for Silent Blaze to go over to that White Fox to play for more survivability. It's just been hard for them to live. You know, the Loki ban has been huge because I think Silent Blaze
I've been seeing you kill it with the
can they outlive this dive this time?
Content review. Not the content review, the VOD review stuff.
But everybody's still alive. Mask can't really find these KOs, and okay, finally Xantho's going down. Eventually, the clobbering time slows down the attack too.
I mean, they're just ult dumping on these guys. They're just ult dumping.
Okay, Jitward still goes off despite what happened early.
Yeah, Kendrick now going to be chasing.
Kendrick.
There on Aretas after Aretas takes out Zatex.
Kendrick dies. Oh!
But Tones is the last hope, able to find another.
No, he couldn't save him. He couldn't save him.
There. Now going to be seeing if Hulk can fall, but yeah, well played.
All I gotta say is the idea got something to do with casting.
Strats can get back. The problem, I think, and I want to get your opinion.
Maybe I could join you on some of these.
You know, stall this stacking comp is much more difficult to play when you're getting run down 24/7 and staggering. They needed a point to kind of camp on.
Yeah, this time they tried to make that play, and it's like you mentioned, Shib. They have to play around that.
Tones got his ass.
Finally removing a lot of that damage that has been, you know, sort of a consistency in terms of throughput onto the side of Lunex. And you know, they have to make the moves, like you mentioned, Shib, and they're finally doing so. Xantho goes down again. You know, difference of opinion now for, yeah, we lost. They try to play around that cart, but at this point, we've lost too many members. And Lunex are kind of coming online, Shib. They're doing, as you said, just kind of rotating.
They're holding them around this corner. That was good. That was good from Lunex. The way Lunex have to play is they have to bunch up. The moment Yaoi lost gets them separated, fighting on different fronts, that's where they're, I think, at best. That's where they excel, man. They're too good.
Yeah, and at this point, I feel they're just trying to essentially, this is like where they need to hold for their composition. One pick comes in right now.
Hiko takes down Cart immediately, bro.
And that is pure value, folks, on a huge pick. Is massive, but doesn't get...
No follow-up! No follow-up!
As the Fox is now launched for the side of Lunex, Silent Blaze. Tico takes
Jit was dead again.
The trade's still there, but this time in the favor of Lunex, who have sweeped the entirety of Yeah, We Lost.
Excellent read by Silent Blaze and excellent read by the team to play around that White Fox ultimate. I think ever since that they've switched over to that White Fox off of the the Invisible Woman, it's been really good. And for, yeah, we lost. Maybe they could take a page out of their book. Maybe they don't want to play the Invis. And we're playing Triple Strategist and still somehow losing Xantho in these fights. Last one, obviously, they staggered. So a little bit tough. Still having a solid time bank, unlike Lunex on their attack, but the macro of Lunex has been very smooth.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gambit never folds, guys.
And finally started locking in on this defense as Tones is able to take out Jibward early on. Another
Oh, we're still committing Invis?
A lot of these early finals. Mask trying to turn that right back, though. Does have level available.
Card has ult. Card has ult. Mask.
Huge pick on a Tico in the front line. Ayabagamoto goes out. From the side of Kendrick, does that get value? It doesn't seem like, oh, excuse me, it wasn't. Thought I heard it in that moment. I think it might have been early cancel from Tico. Zatex onto Logan. Once more, Redis with that huge, once again, ultimate in the back line by Xantho. Tones onto Mask, Kendrick, and Jitward.
Ooh, Jitward gets him. They just got to push cart with 3.
Back and forth, but this time, yeah, we lost now. Up in numbers. Portal gets committed. Card trying to find a way through, and instead is just not going to be able to get too much value with this ult at the current moment.
The huge portal to get it off before getting CC'd. Ayabagamoto doesn't come out as well.
Wait, Ayabagamoto gets
at the very end.
canceled?
Excellent job by Silent Blaze yet again. They move towards that cart.
Oh, Silent Blaze, bro. Silent Blaze on the White Fox. Yeah, I think yeah, we lost needs to ban White Fox away. I think it's just one of those heroes that's just fundamentally counters their kind of play style. And they're going in with Jitward and Ultron. What?
They might be screwed.
Final fight potential, and I believe Portal was already committed. More dive right now.
Jitward is dead, by the way. Zatex is gonna die too.
It does find that pick, and now Lunex up in numbers in a final fight situation. They've learned to clutch up in moments that they've struggled.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Someone got a touch. 10 seconds.
In a dream here for yeah, we lost. The touch might come in from Cart.
It's not gonna come in. He's not gonna touch. He's not gonna touch.
Oh,
he got it.
That pick to turn the numbers
I lied.
in their favor. Redis marking Jitward on the back line. We see more follow-up. Ayabagamoto again from Lunex, and that should
yeah, we lost through .1. Hey, we got a series on our hands. We got a series on our hands.
Plays on offense, the plays on defense, in second phase specifically was just so smart. I think Lunex right now, the big thing for me was that Van Pool ban, and then also being able to plan it, because like you said, Tones was getting a lot of value on these flank angles, dealing with them, dealing with Jitward. Like Jitward.
DD nerf, please. Thank you, off-brand. DD nerf, please, bro.
And you know, also Silent Blaze going for the White Fox to help with that.
61 and 2.
Are you kidding? What is that? This is because like these stats are comical. This is the most hilarious stat line I think we can see.
61 and 2 from Tones, bro.
Finals for Redis.
Shit, you gotta make a TikTok about this game, dude. This is like actually the game that like this is okay. This team wants to play for time. Other team just playing for the win like a normal squad. Just hilarious.
And it looks so much closer, folks, and that's why, dog. I
Bro.
love when you say it because I agree. You say stats don't always matter. Don't look at stats.
Yo, Avatar Zero.
Keep moving
Appreciate the
forward.
follow.
1-1 series, folks. Right after this break.
Oh my lord. 61 and 2 from freaking bro. Bro, what? That's wild. 60. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. 61 and 2 is insane. 61 and 2 is wild. I can't, bro. 61 and 2. What the? Hey, we take it. We take it. That guy's insane, by the way. Would have been funnier if they dropped even a crazier score line, but they lost. I've seen that shit happen before. Oh!
And we got a series on our hands. Welcome back, everyone. Zoe
Do I
here,
boot up a
joined by
co-stream?
Norman, and
You
I
should,
am
Vaudable. Why not?
Break down how Lunex got this dub. I think it was very interesting already in the ban phase here, because we've seen already historically during the group stage and also here in the playoffs that Lunex is putting a lot more stocks in Vanpool. Just generally, like they like to ban and also like to pick him a lot. Whereas, yeah, we lost, not really. We've only really recently seen them like picking it up more, and I feel like that ban on Vanpool actually really gave them a leg up.
Yeah, and they really like to run that duelist pool and strap pool too. And I think I think you touched on, and you can.
We can do the stream together thing.
They want to have that strap pool to build for whatever pool they want to pull out in the moment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they do it well at the right time, at the right place. And, you know, it's tough because I think this is still coming down to Vanpool being just a little bit stronger, no matter the, old charge or however it may be, just having extra 500 HP, the overall damage reduction and the E. Just there's so much value to tank pool for sure. And, we've seen that map 1 and then map 2, they played around it super well, right? Like, Lunex ship, what was the reason that they kind of came back? And it felt like...
Shinshibuya. Yeah, we lost.
We're going to be heading to Shinshibuya next. But yeah, I mean, Lunex, their idea of their composition, which I thought was a great call up by you on map 1, was they need to bunker up. They need to group up because they're separated, they're getting staggered, and they're walked to their door 24/7. And that worked great for them when they could bunker on point on attack, but they struggled heavy when they were defending because they essentially, same story, were getting walked to the door separately until they got indoors on point 2, where it's just one room in your team, and that played exactly into their comp. They played around the thing, protect that backline, and next thing you know, they come home with a W.
Yeah, they did want to play that brawl there, really. But the first part of the map was just insane. Dogman, you talked about it, you laughed about it. Because fights were happening literally everywhere. I feel like I just personally explored every part of the map. I've never.
It was a fight every single time. That's why he got 61 elims.
They were all over the place. I mean, next map we're going to Shinshibuya. Hopefully it's a little bit more, or I guess less dynamic like that. But yeah, I mean, they were just like constant rotations. Both teams, it just felt like a dog chasing its own tail at points. So huge plays, I think, from Lunex to sort of
the dog man chasing his own tail. I'm
this
just
is
joking,
kind of
guys.
like the mirror matchup to that degree slightly, where both teams are kind of like, play similarly, kind of like the Energy versus Sentinels game, where you kind of keep leaning into that side, and it just is bringing out the best out of both teams, just with how dynamic they both can be.
Yeah, I'm just happy something
Oh no, we
you
were
mentioned as well during the cast chip that Lunex has learned to clutch. Where in previous
Lunex has
matches,
learned
they
to
always
clutch,
came
guys.
so close, but then they couldn't clutch it up. So for them to actually show that they do have the clutch factor too in this match, when
We'll see.
everything
We'll
comes
see.
right,
I feel
they
like
had some good
yeah, we lost might take this.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, at least not 3-0. I thought it was gonna be 3-0.
Because they were a team that looked like they were going to win.
I think you
multiple
banned the
matches,
White Fox
right when
though,
they were
if
up
you're
100%
YWL.
to 0 on Dom. They would just give it up. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Space Station, they take all the way to a 3-2 Game 5 situation and make it happen there. And I think it was great for their mental, and it's showing right now.
It really is. Now, of course, the big question is, what should these two teams be running out of the gates with? Do you feel like maybe Yabelos has to go a little more gimmicky again? Like maybe lean more into what we know and love them for?
I mean, maybe, yeah. Like, we go to this next map, Shinshibuya. They love to go for these dive comps. They're going to keep probably putting Cart on the Hulk, and I think you can kind of deal with it. You saw, like, the first map, they went for that Hulk ban, maybe over kind of calculated what the side of we lost would do, but they reined it back in. They kind of just went, okay, let's just go ban out kind of the best in slot heroes, and it kind of worked out. So I imagine for Lunex, they're going to stick to a similar game plan. And for the side of we lost, I wonder if they're just going to commit harder to those dives this time, especially since we're going to Shinshibuya, which I think is a solid dive map.
Yeah, I do think you know it's weird because yeah we lost. It seems like they can play.
I like
whatever,
Shin
as long
Shibuya
as
though.
they
I
make
think it's
enough
gonna be a good
chaos.
map for
When
Yeah
they
We
start
Lost.
chaos, that's where teams
They know how to
crumble.
play the map.
And the teams that
They
are
should know how to
really
play the
able
map
keep
better.
them are the teams that can
Especially
push
if
forward in terms of
Kart's gonna get like
comms.
Hulk/Venom.
Can we, you know,
It's also a pretty good
find the
Spider-Man map.
point of who we want to focus while everyone's getting attacked
If
from
Jitward
millions
plays
of different
Spider-Man, I think
angles.
he's just gonna play
And
Daredevil.
I didn't know if Lunex was going to be able to do that because they haven't in the past, but at least we got.
White Fox kind of
I think
releasing
that will be
destroys
good, similar
Jitward.
to
Destroys Yeah We Lost. Still, White Fox being like an anti-dive support.
Yeah, they
Oh,
never
it's
kept
kind of
their
tough,
contour
man.
as well.
It's
They
kind of
did, like,
tough.
color
It's kind of
adjustments. They
tough.
didn't, like, throw like the baby in the bathwater out of the window. So they made small adjustments, the right adjustments in order to like actually get over the finish line here. So I'm super excited to see what both of these teams have in store for us as we're heading onto map 3. The best of 5, so we still have potentially some more maps to go. But for now, map 3, who is going to come out on top? We're about to find out. So guys, please take it away.
All right, heading in again, my friend Shin Shibuya on the line
Shin
here.
Shibuya.
Next, yeah, we lost 1-to-1 situation. Do you think we're going to see the removal of Vanpool, Bud, for the side of Lunex?
Yeah, it might be a part of it, you know, for sure. And it's interesting as well that, you know, yeah, we lost, get the map pick. We go to Shin Shibuya. They pick defense first. You know, I think a lot of teams want to start the tempo up with attack first, but for Shin Shibuya, feeling more comfortable going defense first. So let's see what happens in terms of their play style. Like you mentioned, maybe going for that Vanpool ban. Maybe the Vanpool Protect would come out towards the very end for Lunex. But for Yeah, we lost. They've kind of been a team that sticks to their ban phase, especially with the Gambit. So we're probably going to see the Rogue and then the Mantis. It's kind of that last ban that we'll have to see gets adapted to. Also, I think a lot of teams should like to play some more Wolverine and stuff too. Like I wouldn't mind seeing that, considering you know we saw a lot of the thing. We saw a lot of those kind of characters come through. To be especially against this.
All right,
kind of
Yeah We Lost gonna ban Gambit. They're gonna save Gambit. Teams are honestly. They're gonna trade Gambit for Elsa.
Yeah, you've kind of mentioned the strength of Wolverine in this meta, and I'm 100% behind it. I think Wolverine does a great job.
No, they're not
He's
actually.
super threatening, and there's a lot of melee in the meta, so he doesn't get like poked out before.
Yeah We Lost is gonna ban.
Yeah, like he called out a double Mantis ban here. The Protect coming in from Yeah We Lost. This is like what
Double
we were
Elsa
talking about. We
ban.
could see the Vanpool coming in. I'm not sure exactly.
Isn't it
what I
Vanpool
think is
Protect
most
for Yeah We
prevalent
Lost?
for a convergence map, which is very different than Convoy and Dom, as you do got to kind of play both, a little bit of both here. So looking forward to seeing what that selection is. And yes, it is going to be that Vanpool.
I like Vanguard pool for Yeah We Lost. I think it's better than the Strat pool, right? I think it's better than the Strat pool. So
for that to come through, and then kind of the same thing I imagine for Lunex. We'll see, because last time they protected it, and they think that's the matchup difference. But the difficulty is, okay, the Jeff ban is being hovered, and yeah, I think they were playing a little bit of Jeff the last one. Maybe they go for the even if they
Jeff
want
is
to. But the tough part is
Jeff
goes
ban.
back to what our original discussion was, Shib, which is
Jeff ban is whatever.
You know, kind of everything's good right now, right? Like there's a bunch of good options.
Did you hear VP got upset at Crazy? Eli, I did. I watched back some of the matches
If the other players
earlier today.
They can get around it. If they have the
How
right
wild is
strategy,
that?
Because everything is very
They
good.
so
It's just a matter
Rad
of
reverse
the
sweeps
matchup.
them, and then Shikigami 3-0's Rad. So I don't know. EMEA is
incredibly
I don't know.
targeted to the front line because it was such a problem. It really did peel well. It's super smart from Yeah We Lost. Again, they just want chaos. They don't want bunkering. They don't want protection. They want you to just be
no thing.
not sure really who.
I
to
guess
go
they really
after
thought
in
thing
these
was the
moments.
issue.
So
I
great
felt like it
job
was
in
White
the
Fox
banning
though,
phase
but maybe
there.
I'm
Who do you
wrong.
give the ban phase to, buddy? Off rip. This is a tough one.
I mean, just overall, I feel like with the Jeff team up of Venom and with how good Jeff is,
Jitward
on
gets
these more linear
Daredevil,
maps,
though.
I kind of like it. But also, like, the thing is, like, there's so many good strategists in general that, like, yeah, we lost. If they can figure out what to do with Xanto and Kendrick, then I think they'll be in a better position. You know, like, I mean, I understand you want to play the team up with Doctor Strange and stuff, but it might be worth just getting off the Invisible Woman just to save Xanto's life onto something with a little bit more flexibility and mobility, like Lunex were doing. But also that goes back to the Gambit ban and the one-sided Gambit that's happening, where you know,
One-sided
Logan's been a
Gambit.
big reason
I don't think Yeah We Lost cares about your one-sided Gambit though. Like it genuinely, they're willing to give Loki over too. They gave Loki Gambit to NRG. Didn't really matter.
Some teams are saying that Gambit's quote unquote fallen off, but he's been pretty much played by every top team.
He's been pick
in
ban.
his region when available, so it's tough to fully buy into that stock, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is a tough meta to read. It's been really hard for professional levels.
Oh, nice.
Stun. Oh, huge. Nobody was
Nice.
there to block it? Really? No shield, no bubble? Was it just too late or something? What a stun there by Zayton.
I don't think they
Stop
expected.
TP.
The
Dude,
stun
what was-
from
what happened? Was
Zatex.
the Invis shield, I believe, was there. Oh, no, I guess it wasn't. It wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, so no option there for that moment. But first fight going to come into play now. Regis trying to take an off angle on the attack.
What a
Look upwards towards his height, which is a really defensible position. We're going to break some of that
All right,
structure.
DD
before
versus
people
DD.
down, so the team can move forward quickly. Regis on a Xantho. Xantho, the nice jump away. Won't be holding.
Someone
too long.
protect Xantho.
Very
Someone protect
dangerous.
Xantho.
Comes in
No.
onto Iffy. Great play there on the attack by Lunex to break that structure.
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody
we're
help
thinking
him.
fight
Why is
back
he
into
jumping
this, but
away,
all
though?
of that comes down to Regis controlled the off angle too quickly. Like you mentioned, they broke the structure. Regis was already in a pretty hard position. We might see a portal to come back, but excellent play by Regis to control that. And honestly,
No
a bit of a
portal.
mistake, I think, from Yawi Lost and Jitward to not mark it, or somebody to mark Regis first because he was already on the back line so aggressively.
Dude,
Can't even get in.
5 minutes and 20 seconds on point one. I don't think we've seen a
520, bro. Is Lunex gonna gentleman sweep? Yeah, we lost. That'll be the craziest thing.
Start walking forward now. Tico on that side lock. Just going to be dealing a ton of damage onto the Vanguards to get out quickly.
He's burning time.
Very fast with Cypher, able to do that. Tones finds Zatex now, and Lunex again are walking, finding these early picks as Regis takes out Kendrick.
Yeah, right now this is just pure dominance out of the side of Lunex, and I think, like I said, still
No,
misplays by
bro.
everyone. They wanna
Is
set
Regis
up
just a
Xantho
better Daredevil?
defensively on some of
Uh-oh.
these characters that can't really afford to, right? Like we don't have the Jeff now, especially with like Venom team up and stuff to keep it alive. We're playing the White Fox, I get that, but like their backline's getting caught out in positions where they don't really want to be, and I know they
Well,
wanna
Xantho's
defense,
getting
but I know
cut.
They want to set them
They
up
gotta go
outside,
double charm,
but
yeah.
Right now, I think they need to care of them a little more because we're a little bit too objective play. They're a little off sync, which is huge plays by Lunex to make Yeah We Lost look uncomfortable for the first time since Team Liquid Citadel.
But the beautiful thing about Yeah We Lost is you can see, folks, someone's on cart that whole time, right? And it is going to be cart. And we see
Oh, nice,
Tico
Zatex.
and Jitward now. Everybody going to stack, and they come in heavy. So that whole take of them finding value doesn't matter because the cart hasn't scooched like at all. And that is the reason you're going to want to see teams constantly playing on that cart, even if you lose a few early on. Get on that cart before you go down. Zatex trying to find another pick here.
Yeah,
Again,
burn
that
so much
Psylocke
time. I mean,
will be
there's
super
this thing. Yeah, we lost is so good
We're
at
talking about
like
teams
being
like
time
the
conscious
Phoenix
and
who
burning
probably won't
time.
play the Psylocke since they're so aggressive, but White Fox ult to counter that, and okay, Regis goes down.
Yeah, and the Itch Chef comes in, matched right back by the dance of that Cutterfly.
Does he
and
take
they
him?
will get that pick on a Silent Blaze. Just
Cutterfly.
focus and great.
Dance of the
sustain.
Cutterfly.
Edward finds that pick. Another one comes through onto Tones, and now a spawn door hold comes in, but this time going to be against the attacking side of Lunex.
This is I like the adjustment. I mean, it's really been one-sided just because Zatex switches over to that Psylocke off the Phoenix.
Jitward has ult, Xantho has ult, Cart has ult. I think they should just try to win this fight with Cart ult only. They should try to win this. Tones is swapping over to Hulk now. They gotta win this with. I think they win this next fight with Hulk ult only. That's another minute burn. Then they use Daredevil. There's another minute burn. You know what I mean?
You know, whatever you could do, I could do better.
But they might. Yeah, we lost. Might overforce. They might use both.
We see the beginning of the next set of fights. A lot of commitment. Let the devil out comes through. Logan finds Kendrick.
Doesn't matter.
Able to trade that with Tones.
Oh, I don't like this Luna ult, but whatever.
On to Logan. Mask is going to be playing that Vanpool, and it's a problem right now. Zatex looking for a third.
I'm not in love with that. I wasn't in love with that.
Finding the second, but the fourth for Jitward. It's just back.
The car still hasn't moved, by the way, after point one.
And yeah,
I mean, this point is historically like so hard, man.
Consistently now on point two.
Yeah, Jitward going down and spawn, focusing on to Logan. But yeah, it's like you said, they're coming up on top. I mean, Zatex has kind of just been everywhere. Look, again on Tico, goes invisible, comes through, gets the little melee animation cancel at the very end. But overall, I think the pressure has been too much. You throw out the Deadpool ultimate, throwing the bubble out to make sure it doesn't get healing. And again,
Yeah, we lost is not really giving them any room to like stage or breathe or anything. Like, how do you play Daredevil and this stuff if the amount of space you have to play with is like this big? If it's like this big, it doesn't matter.
Able to take out Logan while we have downtime, but I mean, this is crazy.
Look how much space they're controlling. Like, genuinely, what the fuck does Lunex do? They have to like fight and burn resources just to get out of their own spawn, pretty much. And the moment you peek out, they're gonna beat you up. Oh, they tried to go. He tried to go for the exile on Monster Hole.
Able to make that happen before the escape comes through. Regis onto Mask.
But look at this.
Will be able to start scooching this card a little bit.
You guys guys will say, oh, yeah, we lost, played too far, they played too aggressive. But Lunex had to burn Hulk ult, they had to burn White Fox ult, and they had to burn Psylocke ult. 3 ultimates just to get out of your spawn. And now they only have a minute and 15 seconds left. 5 minutes and 20 seconds at the start of this round, or the start of that point, too. Like, yeah, we lost, forced them to burn so many resources. Redis has Daredevil ult, though, and Kendrick's in a counter.
Yeah, and that switch off.
And now they're going to come back here. Look.
Comes through Redis, trying to find some more damage. The Exile comes through onto the front line of Cart. We'll be out of that now.
Silent Blaze? He's going to burn it.
Iffy, the first pick onto Xantho. We see the boundary committed by Silent Blaze, who's just playing healthy while being ban-hammered. Still playing healthy on the back.
Oh, Jitward has free ult. Help my man, Jitward. Help my man, Jitward.
He's going to try to find that pick, and it looks like it might come through. It does. As Tone
help my man, Jitward.
Zatex wants more onto
yeah.
Iffy.
So now what resources do you have to fight this, right? Boom, boom.
Wow. This Hulk play is clean. Shout out to the Hulk mains.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, yeah, we lost, taking advantage.
Shout out to the Hulk mains. Hey, that's me.
We're going for
Kinda.
Spawn camp, probably. And with 20 seconds left, Lunex need to rely on Tones to get this CC and spawn, maybe to stun out somebody this right side angle and pop off on the Hulk ult.
They're not going to even try to TP.
All on him to not only touch the cart, but create pressure.
We're going to see some more.
He's stuck.
Here,
he's stuck. Door stuck. Door stuck, bro. Door stuck.
To make sure they're forced into trance. Silent.
Yeah, they have Luna ult, by the way. They still take Datex out.
Lunex, who needs something to happen now as the OT has begun on the dance floor on the point. And even the
Jitward's back on Spider-Man.
Is dancing a little bit as Xantho's trying to find that pick with the team up from Fox. Not able to make that work. Still playing slow and dropping back, biding more time, knowing they only have to touch before that point cap comes through. But Lunex does have that percentage in terms of push that they need to at least guarantee a tricky fight. The final fight comes through. Dance of the Cutterfly goes out from Zatex.
Nice. That's Redis.
More commitment comes out as Tico now starts.
Redis has to TP if he needs to.
The Region Royal flush gets canceled instantly. Tico onto Mask. Might not be enough here. The point's still moving forward, but that is a huge KO there onto the back line of that Gambit.
Jitward came back on
okay, Jitward.
Tones goes down. Huge cancel, like you said, might be the shifting thing that stops Lunex here in the streets phase. The very end, Iffy trying to clutch up, does get one.
Iffy. Oh, Logan gets one too.
So both backline gone. No healing.
There's a TP. There's a TP. There's a TP. Yeah, it had to be Redis.
Portal here from Redis too, so Lunex will get people back in the fight, and somehow, some way, Jitward finds Logan in the backline without any heals, so they're all gone. Tico comes back and finds Jitward. It's an absolute brawl towards the objective. 1v1 between Tico and Zatex in the high ground. Wins it though with Tico, and with no time left in the overtime at all, the BRB brings Mask back in the fight, so they should have
nice swap from Xantho.
But overall,
Jitward has ult in 5%.
Up in a sec, but Cart Lover has it. If he finds Mask, Cart can stall it out for a little bit longer, and he switches into the Monster Hulk 4.
And the spectacular spin on the back.
Oh, the spectacular Spider-Man doesn't get anybody, bro.
Make it work there. Redis does have ult available. You see Hulk just putting so much pressure onto the Vanguard.
Oh, Silent Blaze swapping over, and he has the BRB.
What a play there.
They've got to go for him. Oh, nice focus. Nice. That's such a good focus.
For Tico.
Oh, the rest still came in, though.
Yeah, we lost clutching up. Redis finds one, though, but it won't matter. What a hold there. But yeah, we lost.
Wow, good focus.
Yep, yeah, we lost.
Good focus from YWL.
Play style of any team in MRI, not MRC, but like this team is just so aggressive, dude. It's like despite what everybody else is doing, like you heard in the Kendrick interview, they play the game how they think it should be played, which is just go, 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 gas, 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 you know, like pedal to the metal right now for yeah, we lost, and they are not slowing down, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Chaos comp, and you're so right. It's just so
Chaos
fun
comp.
to watch.
Okay,
I'm sure
bro.
all the Spidey mains are stoked to see Jitward on that switch, because, yeah, it really did get value. I think you gotta talk about Spidey being incredibly strong in the right hands, and you see the people saying, buff Spidey, okay, maybe slow up a little bit. Watch some Jitward play. So much commitment, and it is always a problem for that backline, even on heroes. That quote-unquote counter Spidey, like the Invis, just still getting value, even on
Is Mask gonna go Thor here?
So clean. And even on the Gambit as well. So well done across the board on the defensive side of, yeah, we lost, but I will say I think point 2 right there is so hard to push through.
Yeah, they had so much distance between them and Xantho, right? Like comparing it to the last map ship, we saw Xantho really contested a lot and going down. But this time, like Lunex could not pressure Xantho. There was too much pressure from everybody across the board. And I think that kind of comes down to the fact that they're not having to play the Phoenix. I think it slows down their playstyle a little bit. But regardless, we still have a chance here, Ship.
God wants to go, bro.
Out of it just yet. They still are able to set up their defensive positioning a little bit. Maybe allow Tico to pop off on the Psylocke. Just in that matchup, Zatex looks a little bit better right now alongside Kendrick because, you know,
Forehead cam from Redis.
You know, Bloodthirsty has been super good, and I think Silent Blaze and Tico have been a little bit slower on that department at the moment.
Yeah, and it might have been Zatex who got that pick on that Gambit and all, and that was potentially point winning. But we're going to see now the defense of Lunax. They need to find more time than, you know, they had 5 minutes on the attack here on point 2. But Kendrick says, nope, that's not going to matter as Redis goes down early. Will there be an answer here? As no, Zatex is going to be able to take out Tico. Mask on that Thor finds another pick.
Mask,
wow, that's a lot of
Mask
pressure.
Thor is just different, Easy Lou. Just watch this man play Thor, bro.
If they want to get back here.
Yeah, they need to. Redis is going to have to go for it. And, you know, right now, Kendrick is looking a lot like Nero.
What up, Solo?
White Fox has been so clean, so smooth. Finding that pick with everybody else in the squad. They go for those coordinated dives.
What up? Thanks for the heart, brother.
Redis goes down again to Kendrick, who has the help, obviously, from everybody else. It's not just Kendrick. But the fact that they're making plays, the fact that they're setting up with this White Fox, this team looks like they're...
yeah, we lost.
Just like we've seen out of other teams with aggressive White Fox players.
I'm really loving this Xantho Kendrick backline, buddy. All right, like, I mean, it's looking so good. Xantho's providing so much damage, but also has that additional trance there given from the team up with Fox and Kendrick, like you're saying on that. Fox is second to none right now. Zatex putting more pressure on, doing exactly what Yeah We Lost has always done. Press the W key, and at this point, the W key is just broken. It's just constantly being slammed down as if he's already been driven backwards. Tico, though, able to find Jitward, who's likely playing on that back line, and yes, he was.
Yeah, that's interesting. They switch over to Bucky, so they're trying to switch back to a counter drive. So instead of kind of going back towards, you know, playing and reverting back to a play style that's going to be good for Yeah We Lost to deal with, and at least to match it, they switch to Bucky. They're switching to a lot of...
Zatex has ult here pretty soon. Kendrick as well. I mean, they just got to keep pushing the envelope here. Who's on Karth, though, right now?
He's been a problem, but Zatex trades out Redis at the very least. They do have somebody at least contesting the Karth, though. So they're slowing down the push of
Hulk,
losses, which is what they need
both
to
Hulks?
figure things out.
Oh, it's Hulk and Venom. I see.
Zatex finds Silent Blaze, and Mask on this Thor has been an issue, and it will continue to be an issue. As you know, just gonna walk them down.
Oh, Jitward took down Tico somewhere.
Plenty of time on, but the major difference here is Lunax has not been stalling that card like Yeah We Lost has. This team has been such an issue for teams to figure out, and they are continuing to do so. Mask.
Oh, Tones. Oh, he's just gonna ult.
This get value. It doesn't look like it will. Answered quickly by the Fox. Coming home unleashed. Logan, though, finding Jitward is a
guys, the cart.
Setting of
Nice freeze.
As they're trying to get back on that point to stall it.
Her Redis now is like, yeah, I need to channel my energy right now.
On this dive. Switching to the Bucky has kind of
TLC
so
energy, not NRG, the team.
Kind of do similar things.
Just, I mean, Solo, we're just watching some Marvel Rivals Ignite. I love co-streaming pro play. It's super fun.
For the second time in a row. So as long as, you know, they keep doing that, keep focusing around this back line.
Oh, I forgot to hit the co-streaming button.
3 minutes and 30 is going to be an incredibly long hold to do. Zatex also gets KO'd on Logan, or KO's Logan early.
Yeah, that's another two-piece now. Dance floor gets brought out. Well, that nets a protection. Mask finds Blaze, and Lunax are going to struggle here, heading to a very difficult tight window and tight margin for error. They cannot make any mistakes now. Alt up for the side of Iffy and Cart. And we've seen what Cart can do on this Hulk. Will that continue to be the problem? Yes. Wow, Xantho.
I can rewatch on their Twitch, right? Yeah, YouTube and Twitch. I think YouTube's better. YouTube's VODs are better because you can go back and forth.
Like you said, he could end him. Push him
But whatever you want,
make
yeah.
Sure they can't go for a TP. Make sure they can't even leave. Just shove that big Hulk body towards the
YouTube, you can rewind and everything like that. I think Twitch, you can. Twitch doesn't have the ability to rewind live, but YouTube does.
But eventually, he'll go
oh, yeah. Yeah, we lost. Got it, by the way. GG. 2-1 now. I mean, that was such a fast The Yeah We Lost wins are super quick, guys.
The W, Yeah We Lost. Take that L personally and come back with a vengeance and push this to our next map, making it game, set, boy match for them, trying to get to that 3 numbers. Zatex with the MVP.
Yeah, well deserved. Made that switch off the Phoenix on.
Bro went crazy. Bro went crazy.
Slow down. You know, really taking advantage of that combination of Daredevil and the Psylocke going for the perfect dives. You can see Zatex always wants to be in position to set up with Jitward, who's giving him the comms, and Mask as well. So, like, this tandem alongside Kendrick has just been so clean. on their offensive side and defense. So they're like playing the defense like it's an offense. They're fighting so many times. I mean, the engagements have been through the roof, like compared to most other comps like we would see where it's been, you know, drawn out long fights with Cloak and Dagger and Loki. Quite the opposite here. I mean, it's just people go down, bodies are flying, and we're having a good time, right?
Yeah, this is just a beautiful, it's so much fun to watch. Beautiful Marvel Rivals play from both teams, trying to figure each other out, and that's what's so fun about best of 5. 23 finals for Zatex, looking clean. We're going to see what happens, and if Yeah We Lost can close this out, or if Lunex will bounce back right after this break.
Oh, dude, our pre-rolls are not... Okay. We do 2 minutes. Have we already been live for that long? Damn, we have. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Do you see a lot of Storm and Pro play? Literally none. Only time we saw it is like for damage boost stuff, but even then it's very, very infrequent. It's very, very infrequent. I think they just need to rework Storm Loki, but all right, I'll be right back. Oh.
Welcome back, everyone. Zoe here, joined by Dogman and I run ship. And once again, we do see Yeah We Lost being up in the series, but what an explosive performance. I mean, we know they love playing aggressive, so obviously they're leaning towards those divey compositions, but it was just so oppressive. It was kind of criminal to watch. I think one thing that stood out to me here was just the different approach they're taking to trying to go aggressive, right? When Yeah We Lost are going aggressive, they are still prioritizing cards. They are not card the player, but the card. So they're actually getting like some movement there, whereas Lunex, they're trying to win those engagements, but then they're not getting any push, and then in the end they're running out of time really to get anything done. But like the card on
Yummy
focus, was quite on point. Now I'm back to the point where I feel like maybe we do have to ban out the Hulk, even though it wasn't an issue in that second map. It clearly was an issue in the past. The first map. I mean, hence even Liquid Citadel put some respect on the name and banned out the card Hulk. So
yeah, he plays a ton of that hero. It kind of makes sense to go for that ban in some maps for sure. And we're going to Idrisil Path next. It might be something we're talking about for sure, Zoe. I think that he's been good throughout. And I mean, for this whole team, like they just kind of play a very fast-paced style that's hard to deal with. And you know, I obviously they don't want to lean away from their identity for Lunex, but I mean, I think it might be worth, especially on certain map types.
Idrisil is still pretty good for YWL though.
Keeping the Loki, try to favor.
No, am I wrong?
More,
I feel like it's still a good map.
Bunker style, because it seems like it's kind of the only way to deal with Lunex, especially with the fact that they're not really playing hard objective. So they're just going for those KOs a lot of the time, like you said, leaving somebody on to contest that objective when they can. But it's just go, 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 and it can result in a very fun style to watch. But there are some counters, and I think they could lean into them a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, you guys are
Agreed.
mentioning the Hulk, because if you just head over to the stats, you'd be like, oh, it looks like Cart really didn't get that much value. But like Zoe was saying, he's always on the point is why. And and I'd argue that is so much value, maybe even quote unquote MVP. And you may not get it in the stats, but really stalled a ton of fights that were won, even by the side of Lunex, didn't matter at all. So really clean play. I think, yeah, like you're saying, I think you can find some counters that could work into it. You just need some real raw damage to stop the Hulk.
Yeah, the question here is also like, are you trying to match the aggression that is coming out from Yeah We Lost, or is there more value in just trying to slow it down? Like, what's the better approach historically, looking at teams that managed to win against Yeah We Lost?
Yeah, I think it's slowing it down a bit. You know, obviously, if you want to try to match them and play them to a higher level, that's what we've seen like Team Liquid Citadel do. But you know, it's hard to kind of match the roll for roll.
Hey, yo, my stream!
Right now, next map, Zoe. This is going to be a ton of fun, though, to see if Lunex can come back and bring us to a map 5.
And they have to, because this one's for all the marbles. It is their playoffs live on the line.
Yep, loser of this goes home, guys. Loser of this goes home.
All right, buddy. And you can see the same mismatch we've been seeing the whole time. Goodbye to Elsa, goodbye to Gambit. And Gambit will be
selected. Oh, Gambino.
Even though Lunex has had times where they feel like it's not always the pick, but they always seem to go back to it after the fact. So a little bit of mismanagement in terms of what their ideal comp is to handle a team like Yeah We Lost.
I mean,
yeah,
YWL just saves Daredevil, yeah.
Been, able to do at least on the second map through like characters like The Thing, also making sure they dive on Xantho, because like we said, he's going to be in an aggressive spot most of the time. This map as well, like let's see where he's positioned on that Luna Snow, for example, if he's going to play it, because the ban phase looks like it's happening in a very similar way, right? Like we got
the Hulk ban,
the Gambit Protect, we went for Rogue early, maybe to remove that, but also kind of interesting.
I like the Thing ban.
The Elsa ban for both sides.
I fuck with it.
So for Lunex, they haven't been able to deal with the Jit Ward on Daredevil so far. It's been prioritized. 100 Thieves have been seen doing stuff like that with Self, and Yeah We Lost. They might go for that early White Fox Protect this time around, and it's also that early.
There's not going to be a Mantis save from
I think from
Lunex.
It could be an overemphasis in terms of resources towards that, but they're going to get that Deadpool Vanguard through again in that Protect phase.
Yeah, I think it's a good call out. They saw it might be a little bit of overcommitment.
Just bet, yeah, you can bet in Jeff.
That would be, you know what I mean.
Save Mantis. You get one-sided Mantis, one-sided Loki. I think if you lose with that, you deserve to be out of the tournament.
So you can run that strat early on should you desire, and you can switch later on to a fully juiced out Vanpool. We're going to see the removal of the side of Jeff, who Kendrick is not afraid to run. We're going to see what the final lock is here for Lunex, and I'm not sure what their answer would be. It could be Vanpool as well. I don't think that's a bad decision because they had a ton of success on map 2.
Yeah, it could be.
I think you save the Mantis.
They go for
no?
The ban
yeah.
instead.
You save the Mantis. Come on.
Been okay with the Venom ban even.
Again, if you lose with Mantis Gambit, your ass deserves to be gone. Get the fuck out of the tournament.
Because the Thing banned on the opposite side. So, Shib, what do you think about that? Like, that's definitely a good read.
Yeah, I think we were just talking about, you want to try to find a way to get through Hulk. And you know what? If you damage boost some strong duelists, that's how you get through the Hulk. You just got to overpower Hulk.
I do like the Loki ban.
And when he's on that point,
one-sided Loki, but
you need to be focusing on that 24/7.
Yeah, we also doesn't use Loki, so it doesn't matter.
It enables strong triple, but it also enables your duelist to become an absolute raid boss, as we are going to see what they elect to run in
Wolverine.
My personal favorite map, buddy. Let's go.
Let's go, man. I mean, they went for that Loki ban on the opposite side to help, potentially deal with the Groot stuff that they could do.
Zaytek's not playing Blade, bro. Get out of here.
Because we've seen in other, tournaments and also in EMEA.
The Diddle.
It just feels
like Who
is
is that?
Crazy, dude.
Who is that? The Wolverine? Yeah. That is Wolverine.
Really anything is good. So yeah. I mean, let's see if Lunex can actually capitalize off of it this time.
Oh no, they're not going BP. I don't think they're going BP.
Overcooked, as Zoe likes to say.
Mantis Groot too, right? Like you're gonna have those ults super quickly, and you kind of mentioned, I believe, map 1. You're like, I don't think Groot's bad to slow up the pace either, and I'm with you, bud. I don't think that's a bad decision on attack because you just cut the LOS of whoever is trying to make a play on your backline. You just completely remove them from their own strats LOS, and you try to focus that together, and then you farm out super quick if you do have that Mantis on your side. So we'll see if they're able to do that.
I just think it's super good versus most of these teams that don't really
Oh,
play a ton
yeah,
of
we lost this on
Wolverine so
defense
far,
first. Okay.
right? Like, I feel like if you're going to play the Groot, you know, and then you have the thing in your back pocket.
I
you
mean,
might
this is
as
just a
well.
good
And also, with
comp,
the thing banned on the
but now
offensive
Lunex
side,
is
that
running
makes
triple.
Wolverine more tough to deal with. But again,
Not even running a
I think,
Mantis,
yeah, we lost
even though they
because showing
saved
a
it.
ton of Wolverine gameplay.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we've seen that from them almost at all. We'd have to go back and look at the stats. Zatex on the high side, putting pressure on, trying to keep them tight to the point. And that's just what we lost has always done out of their spawn.
Okay, Silent. Okay, yeah, Silent Blaze is playing in the Mantis. There we go.
You gotta believe
He opened up on White Fox randomly.
play out of the door if a team's trying to hold you here, so don't completely disregard it. As Tico
Bye,
is
Cart.
and set the
Bye.
tone for Lunex, who needed that momentum, but here comes the engage on that back line from Jitward. We know that's a problem. Xantho's looking dangerous. Goodbye. As Tico makes a play. That was a little crazy.
It's a little crazy. He's setting up for the dive again on the back line, but they're not able to do so. That's the problem with letting Mantis Ultron through. And if for a team that can play it as well, look, they're just all playing together cohesively, except Tones obviously.
Bye, Kendrick.
Aggressive with the Deadpool ultimate, able to take down that off angle. But I like it. I mean, so far, it's
Oh,
gonna be
what are
really
you
hard
aiming
to
at?
deal with the comp of Lunex, just because they got the Mantis through, they got the Ultron through, which is at points turned into like a god composition. You have the Phoenix to counter Mantis ult and stuff. But
Are they gonna try for 2 more contests here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a comp that you maybe are seeing in ladder and you shed a tear, but in pro play, it can be a huge problem because you don't need a ton of healing if you play around natural cover properly, and you can make your own cover with your Groot, and you have that heal wall to help supplement the heals. Iffy finding Cart, Redis. Say they want to push this to game.
Guys, Jit on DD? Hell yeah, Jitwood's on DD, baby. Hell yeah.
For point 2.
Yeah, 5 minutes, point 2. I mean, I guess the
Does
only
not
reason
upgraded
you
gun
wait
ult do
is
anything to
because,
pro
like we said, we
players?
saw this team struggle playing Mantis comp before, but
It's
it
still
looks like
annoying.
much better with this Wolverine.
clutter and
They're trying to
everything.
Peel for the backline since they're not trying to hard control off angles. Also, the fact that they got Gambit through too. So the Loki ban does feel like kind of useless in hindsight, only because they still have that Ultron Mantis with a damage boost, and then obviously Logan's just going to play Gambit.
Okay, Mass.
A huge pick off on the opposite side to slow down the offense.
Yeah, I missed that. For some reason, I missed the Gambit in the moment. But yeah, Gambit's obviously a huge influence who can play hyper aggro and has, honestly, KO potential in the neutral. As Mask is owning this high side, Logan finds Jitward. Out goes the answer for the resurgence from Silent Blaze.
Soul Resurgence.
Who is going to start them walking. There's the boundary matched by Xantho, but pays for it. Goodbye goes the boundary. Kendrick able to trade
Kendrick takes on Tico, though.
Yeah, we lost to try to keep the numbers
5v5.
even, but losing that strat ult was huge for the side of Lunex, as they will find Kendrick.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I like how you called that Gambit could just be so good in the neutral, and then Logan proceeds to get 3 KO. 4 KOs! Dude, just brings the hammer down on force Atex. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean,
That just cracked me up. You're clairvoyant.
Gambit.
You're reading the tea leaves. You're a witch
He's
as
a
well.
I just can't believe it's so funny because I mean Gambit just can do
Bro,
so
Gambit
much
going
just in all
crazy
facets
right
of the
now.
game. Logan doing it there. So excellent plays by the strategist of Lunex. Now they have ults, right? Huge plays by Rita still available.
Rita's being perma damage boosted as well is really freaking annoying. Because he just shreds tanks even faster.
There from the side of Iffy, forcing out a
Big
lot of
strangling
cooldowns,
prison.
but not going to get any KO value. Instead, it's going to be returned. Jitward
Are we letting the devil out? No, we don't need to.
Walk them as Zatex takes out Silent. Make it more. Goodbye, Tones. Goodbye, Redis, Logan. And all of them will
Good team fight win. That was the first team fight win from YWL, by the way.
Over 3 minutes on this attack, folks.
Yeah, sometimes I think with this comp, it can be a bit difficult to follow up on Groot. They're going for a spawn camp, by the way. After everything that's happened, they want to play at this choke again. So expect an early dive again by the side of, yeah, we lost. There's no Daredevil on the opposite side to read it. So let's see if it is, you know, acquainted, or sorry, dealt with by the side of Lunex.
Here goes some commitment now. Jitward with a let the devil out is going to lead to a 2-piece now.
Yep, that's another, what, 30 seconds burn?
I don't think we'll see too many more KOs as they'll probably get to the spawn door, but Psychi lied as everyone gets deleted. But yeah, we lost. We'll have 2 ults available on the side of Cart and Mask. We look over at Lunex, and soon we will see the scariest out of them all with that Raging Royal Flush from Logan. Ooh, potential portal play to get out of here by Iffy. And you will see Tico's as well. Jitward able to find Redis prior to that, though, which is a huge trade. But they get
Big
on
portal.
Point quickly
He just flies through it.
to get through this portal.
I'm just wondering why Redis is not on Daredevil instead of the Bucky. I mean, I feel like we haven't seen too much Bucky through the tournament.
Kendrick is
only
down.
Because he's just not been that good, right? Like, I feel like compared to Phoenix, compared to a lot of these other heroes, he's just been not as strong.
I mean,
in the
what
front
can
half,
Yawi
but,
Lost
you know,
do
they still
here?
have a chance in this
Card
upcoming
already
fight.
used
He
ultimate.
obviously
He's
is
stalling for a long time, though. Zatex needs to get his ult and not die, but I think he's going to go down. 92% on
Trading as
Zatex.
Jitward's able to take out Redis.
Never mind, he's alive. Jitward takes down Redis.
The Banhammer was launched. Not sure if it's going to get enough value, but there's so much commitment. Out goes that boundary. Goodbye.
Nice.
Comes in, but it won't matter as Xantho now has the space. Goodbye to a few more. Logan and Tico if he falls, and that's everybody once again. And yet we lost has been locking in after that point one.
I think, wait, Regis could play the Daredevil, right? Or Tico, mainly. Like,
could,
regardless. Yeah. Okay, they go over to the Star-Lord instead to synergize with the Gambit. I get it. It makes sense. I kind of would like maybe even Regis to go over to the Star-Lord and Tico to play some of those off characters. Nice pick. Zatex goes down early with the
Zatex has ult, man.
Huge to maybe force out.
He needs to play his life there.
Doing so on the sticks. Another shout out there to Silent playing on controller for those who may be in the audience thinking, you know, they might want to switch over to PC and see if controller's still viable. Definitely is. As we see some success here. Silent Blade.
The cart is flopped, guys.
Starts off early on though. And tries to get the Cutterfly to work out. Oh, that's a huge eye. That's committed as if he finds two off and making a third with Regis. And that is massive for Lunex, who are ever closer to point two. 47 seconds on the clock here. And there is no ults available. It will be a neutral fight. Tones, though, very close to try to match with the
there's Daredevil.
Comes out from Jitward.
Oh, nice sleep.
Down to 100 HP in a dream, holding on at 77.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Jitward
does go down after Regis gets that trade.
Takes Logan out.
Man, it's back and forth here.
Kendrick has picked up. Tones takes down Mask. Kendrick is
ulting.
ulting. Cart has ult as well. They can stall. Regis, though. Regis has Galactic Legend.
Trying to peel. Damage up, but here comes the piece of the business on the inside. Does find Tones, but in the sky, Star-Lord reigns supreme. However, everybody's inside the Deadpool bubble. Also, Star-Lord around the shield. So this Star-Lord's ultimate completely negated.
Wow, that Galactic Legend was useless.
Are finding more and more value.
3 seconds.
They are looking really solid right
Someone
now.
has to touch, guys. Someone has to touch.
Point as the portal was removed. So really well played by Yeah, we lost.
Wow, yeah, we lost. Looked like they're gonna lose that fight, but Jitward commits ult and still trades one out. Nah, that's. But you're like up 2 and you're still losing those fights. That's so crazy, bro. He's too good. He's too good.
I mean, like, man, I feel like they really, had their moments and stuff, and the Star-Lord with the Gambit could have worked, like maybe, but this team struggled with the triple with Mantis before, and it looks like they're doing it again. Like first point, it was fast, it was so clean, but then we lost, figured it out in the streets phase, in the second phase out of all things, and started going for those aggressive dives. And then Logan slowed down too. Like I think they saw more out of the neutrals than Logan, like you mentioned. But then once they started kind of, removing the right figures, which is Regis, focusing on him, trying to figure out that weakness that is on Lunex's side, and Regis trying to switch to a character that has a little more survivability, makes sense to switch over to the Star-Lord. I just, maybe I'm crazy, but I kind of would have preferred the Daredevil. This team is also, struggled, I think, playing this triple comp generally. So we'll see if that changes as they're going to defense first, Shib. Yeah, we lost again. Now this is on offense.
We lost.
We've seen how aggressive these guys can play.
He's just sitting. Look at him, bro. Look, cute little guy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think a change in composition was needed a little
bit
earlier. They tried that Star-Lord switch, but it was down to, a minute at that point, bud? So it's like, that's when we don't want to see the changes. Your chance of you even getting ult becomes dicey, and likely going to have to use it at the very end of the fight. As we start now, Zatex.
Zatex wearing the Team Liquid Citadel jersey.
And we can see the positioning from Lunex playing a little more traditional around group. We'll be placing that wall a little safe. You can notice that location on screen right now, back into that corner. That'll give a slight ring forward, so he actually can be CC immune up here on this ramp just a little bit.
That CC immunity going to be a big deal, big player for Iffy. He goes aggressive immediately off of it. Good call, Shib. Xantho goes down, removes that Invisible Woman who wants to go aggressively. That's what they did previously. You do
good hit from Tones.
But at this point, everybody else is gone. Logan again with multiple KOs in that.
Are we going to go to map 5 here? Are we going to map 5?
That is a nice start here for the side of Lunex, but yeah, we lost has all the time in the world. They just need to make sure they can find a few fight wins. Only going to need 2 here, as typically when teams want to try to force 3 fights, they'll fight right at the door, portal back in. Logan and Iffy, you can notice Iffy now setting up walls and unique locations that aren't necessarily forced to be burned so that they can be available should they need them. Zatex, though, going to find the first pick there on Tico.
Nice on Tico.
From Jitward on this DD has been a
A
problem.
lot of damage boost. Whoa! What do you do if you're Logan, bro? You're getting dove by 3 people.
But Kendrick finds one Iffy again onto Kendrick.
Not bad, though.
It's just red and blue back and forth once more as Tones takes out Zatex.
And they're trading. They're trading. And I mean, like, they're going to get caught at the very end, maybe 2. He shields off his own teammate in the corner. Eventually backs up. You got to figure out who the target is that we lost are trying to dive every time. That fight, it was Tico. Try to carry them a little bit more. Try to play a bit safer.
Well, it was Logan too, right?
Meanwhile, mean, that was not a bad fight from Lunex. They can still have a chance on this first point, especially since they have TP still available and Ultimate's coming up from Iffy.
Oh, that could be huge. It does find one.
That's
instead,
big.
And that's just a body block situation there. Good idea from Iffy, who wants to make a play, but there's more commitment. Out goes that Galactic Legend. You see Fox in that off angle playing from the alleyway. Good all there to buy more time from this side of Xantho. Silent Blaze falls from Mask on that Thor, which can.
Oh, what is this Invis? It's on the other side of the freaking opposite side of the card.
Today, as we see Tico up in height.
What the hell am I looking at?
Very low, trying to buy more time as Xantho takes out Ritas. Goodbye to Tico.
Nice.
And yeah, we lost her in a position where they can very much take this point.
Yeah, they very well could. I mean, oh no, Logan alone with the Raging Roll Flush too. Boom, smoked him from Jitward. Tough read. I mean,
3-1. 3-1 incoming, I think. We'll see, though.
But you can see, you know,
Big
Ritas
stagger.
waiting for that dive for the high ground. Tico pops the Ultron's Rage. Notices that Ritas is calling out the help on his dive with the Blaster Barrage, but they just could not find the KOs. The patty cake too well, or played too strongly from Yeah, we lost there. 4 minutes, though, second phase of the map. Yeah, we lost ultimates here still available. We portal play early from Lunex.
He's gonna ult.
Their game plan is to farm ults, maybe force more out of Yeah, we lost to actually slow it down, looking for the right target to dive, which will probably be Logan.
Yeah, I love Jitward's setup, though, right? I mean, it's just so scary as we see now Zatex diving in and is going to be able to find backline early.
Bro, that TP into death. They let them funnel out the TP so they can. They essentially allowed Lunex to stage the dive for them, by the way. The fact that they just waited there, they let Lunex stage the dive for them.
It was so smooth by Jitward and crew, calling him out. Probably going to try to do the same, right? But they did use a decent amount of ults in the last fight. Lunex, kind of part of their game plan. Sadly, didn't build up a ton, though. That's the worry. Tico now going over to the Wolverine. Kind of what I wanted to see out of them earlier in the series. And Tones going over to the Captain America.
Yeah, it's a good call. Xantho starts up again with the pick. We're seeing a lot
Cart's
of
still moving, guys.
Xantho, who's been a
Tones is
problem.
going to contest.
Be a problem. Cart
Someone's sitting on
silent,
Cart.
Now the touch needs to come in here from Tones. And that will happen, but a little scary now as everybody else, all of your backline is just falling over. Mask is going to be a big counter here too for this cap. Goodbye, Steve, as Tones falls.
They win. They win.
Goodbye, everyone, as they fall. And yeah, we lost. Take home this W. Lunex are gone from this preseason.
Yeah, what a fun series. Huge shout out to Lunex for competing and putting up.
Yo. This is the prime example of why you should push up after you win a team fight. So look. That's insane, by the way. Prime example. So Lunex TP's onto Cart here, right? Yeah, we lost is gonna allow them to funnel out of the TP and just say, hey, they're gonna stage this dive for themselves. Yeah, we lost is gonna pick a target. Unfortunately, it is the Gambit. Logan and Silent Blaze are gonna go down here. Immediately after they win this fight, yeah, we lost. They only have to push it pretty much a little bit before the second point here. So what they do is obviously he's going to get the picture for the upgrade, but a majority of Yeah, we lost is going to go up and push pretty much near Lunex's spawn. They're going to leave Mask on Cart, and they're going to get ready to start pushing them forward, right? They're going to already starting to take space. You already see they're taking the tunnel away. They're not trying to give them any room to breathe. They're even committing Kendrick's White Fox ultimate the whole time. Mind you, Mask is on the cart by himself. Look, he's just pushing. They've left him there. And Tones has to contest by himself. They've already taken out multiple members. Silent Blaze is going down. So, at worst, it's a 5v4. Now they have to send somebody back here. But the whole time, Yeah, we lost is contesting like 4 members of Lunex, literally in their spawn. So it's up to Tones to try to contest this. But instead, because Jitward had Mask, or Mask was left on Cart and Jitward comes back, the fact that the rest of Lunex has to scramble to push in. They have to deal with multiple members of Yeah, we lost fighting them, and they have to manage the clock and have to see where the cart is. They just can't do anything. They get overwhelmed, and because Yeah, we lost is pushed up all the way pretty much to their spawn, they've taken the space. Yeah, we lost essentially gets that second point for free. That is why you should push up and take space after you win a fight in Convoy. That is the best representation, because them putting 3 people on cart and getting that distance in that instance was less valuable than just leaving one member there, pushing the cart, and having the other 5 go in and disrupt spawn timers and disrupt the setup for Lunex. But yeah, good play.
This kind of play style? Probably not.
YWL.
But if they consistently find themselves at the very top of the standings, and yes, you do need the reps. You need to be able to deal with this type of aggression and with this type of playstyle.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them move forward because, again, I think they're incredibly fun to watch, and I just want to see better and better teams go against them, and I do want to see how it unfolds. I think, you know, you talk about Team Liquid Citadel, it's tough to keep bringing up that conversation because that was brutal. It was a shellacking from Team Liquid Citadel, but I don't know that
It was a shellacking.
Just yet. I think they need more time against that team to understand what they could maybe do against them. But some of these other top teams that are making it through the lower side of the bracket, this is where we're going to find out if Yeah We Lost can step up, and right now they are stepping up.
They are indeed. I'm always excited to see a lower bracket run, and especially if it features one of the
100 Thieves
underdog
versus
teams
Sen,
that
guys.
most people didn't even have, like, progressing out of the group stage, Dogman.
No, yeah, I think for Yeah We Lost, they really stepped it up again. Trying to play it safe, going away.
It's gonna be 100 Thieves versus Sen now.
Yeah We Lost was not a good idea for most of the fans betting against them in the in-game client, right? So they've really stepped it up, and I think they remind me a lot of the I don't know how to say this, the Chengdu, the Hunters of Chengdu, right? Remember that potential alternate multiverse kind of team? They're a very random team. Yeah, you're with me there. You're with me there. And I think, like, well, for this squad, like
The Hunters of Chengdu.
Against
That's
them is
crazy.
because, like, yeah, why
Dude,
would
that's
you?
wild. Dogman is like
But
dropping low-key in
eventually
Overwatch
they'll
League.
figure it out if they're
That's a
committed
deep
to
cut for
that sort of,
OWL people.
Idea and that ideology of playing, you know, quick and fast pace. Like, it'll work out eventually, and I think you're seeing it right now.
I mean, there's one thing to be said about, like, scrimming against teams like that. It's like, if you can deal with them, you probably can deal with anything, because then you're, like, trialed by fire.
But
you've seen it all.
They are so tilting though. Like, I remember, like, actually,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like we had a B team at one point in this multiverse, and they would, like, hard tilt because of the fact that these guys would just play the most random crap you'd ever seen in your life. But sometimes it's
because
good.
it shouldn't work. Like, on paper, it's like, it's not the better composition, but it trips you up because, like, if you play the standard, if you play what's right, it just doesn't necessarily, like, work against it. So, and they just always have that element of surprise. That said, though, it's not like Yeah We Lost isn't playing the meta either, right? Like, they can play those meta heroes as well. They can play.
They are, but they're
normal
playing their own unique
compositions
style on
as
it,
well.
which is
So
always fun.
It's not like you ban out their
creating
wonky
one.
picks and then I mean, they create one of their own, and they made it very clear that this is how they think the game is supposed to be played. They're playing free. There's something to be said
They're
about
playing free.
But they can also play meta, you know, like, they're not shying away from those heroes either.
They're playing free to play, like our game MarvelRivals, right, Zoe?
That's so right. That's so true.
Okay, I'm pretty cringe for that one, I'll be honest. But
Smile
like,
at the screen for 3 seconds. It's contractually
Dave,
obligated.
you watching? No, I'm just kidding. I think, like, overall, like, really, I think this team, like, the reason why they're doing it, though, is because, I mean, there's something to be said about, like you said, being free to play, being a team that doesn't have, I don't know, like, kind of expectations, right? Like, if you don't have expectations, if you assume, you know, the worst, it's kind of, we're already at rock bottom, we might as well do whatever. For this case, for the side of Yeah We Lost, like, none of their players wanted to get picked up. Like, people look at Cart Lover's hero pool, he plays like shield. I think Jitward was talking about it even in the scrim. They play like, he plays Emma Frost, he plays shield tanks, and he plays like Hulk. He plays such a weird composition.
Yes.
Xantho plays
Cart Lover,
stuff,
and he plays Venom.
Like a ton of backline heroes. You know, like, they are just a bunch of misfits, and because of it, they're benefiting from it, like you said, and no other team is willing to take a risk on that.
I mean, that turns them into fan favorites so quickly, though. Like, those are the teams people want to see succeed. It's the underdog story, and for them to, like, not have the pressure of needing to perform, because you set yourself up for success. You're like, we're just playing what we want, and if it works, awesome. If it doesn't work, well, it wasn't supposed to work, so, like, we're good. You're playing with house money.
Yeah, they're spreading like a virus too. That's the funny thing. Like, I'm sure Chibi heard things from behind the scenes. Well, okay, listen, it is like
In a good way.
In a good way.
That's the meta creation, right? That's what I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like, it's a team that, you know, nobody's. So here's what I was thinking, right? Nobody's willing to scrim them because they run such an unorthodox comp. But eventually, if that unorthodox comp and style starts working so much, they've created a meta. And now they're the only team that can succeed with it because they have been practicing it. And yeah, eventually teams, if this starts working out for more and more, they have to go against it or they will lose to it. So I think it's a really cool concept. And I'm with you. I think it's driving a lot of fan base towards them. And they're fun to watch. I mean, all of us can admit it. I love the unique stuff.
what you're doing now, okay, you're creating a new meta, and now other people start
True.
playing the meta. Do you have
True.
to, like, make another one? Because otherwise you end up playing the meta, and that's like against your personality trait, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
No, I think YWL just needs to stick to what they're playing with. I think the moment they try to like copy other teams or whatever, it's just not gonna. It's not gonna work out.
Like, even like I mentioned with Fi earlier, like we're in such a weird meta that everything is kind of good, and it's creating a fun situation. And now, like I said, like every team in MRC is just like talking about, oh, we should play like, yeah, we lost. You know, now everybody wants to be them. They're creating not only fans but also copycats almost in the MRC in our open bracket that I'm sure we'll see more of. You know, once we get back to MRC.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep answering chat
You
questions.
say that everything is viable, but it's all like I feel like everything.
Not everything is viable.
With like a caveat. Because
Within reason, right?
Dependent and then also opponent dependent. Because some of the teams will let you get away with murder on Elsa. Others are like, no, thank you. So like, I don't know. It's so dependent, but that does make it so exciting, right? Because we do get to see a big variety, and it also makes it much more difficult for all the teams to prep against one another. Because at any given day, like, you don't know what's coming out of the spawn room. Don't know what shape those players are going to be in. So, yeah, peak performance, peak competition really here in Marvel Rivals Ignite ship.
Yeah, and we've seen, you know, just to kind of talk about the counter comps that are working against them. I think the reason that Team Liquid Citadel does so well is because they run that, I think, which is a good answer to the Chaos comp, they run that Ultron backline better than everyone. And that's what you need. You need, if they're going full rush Chaos comp, you need the Ultron to be able to drone the backline so they can play their own life and stay healthy, use their cooldowns while still gaining health. And then you just drill them constantly with your beam and protect them.
I do love the random resurgence of Ultron, though.
Everyone's creds have to be dead, bro. There's no way.
It hit us all by surprise, right? Like when in the group stage, like one or two teams started like picked Ultron. We're like, oh, that's a bait. That's not real. But now, like, look at our upcoming series, 100 Thieves and Sentinels. Both of them love to play the Ultron. Like, they really like to implement it in their triple strat line.
It kind of simplifies the game for you a little bit. Like it makes it a little bit easier if you just have a constant, you know, drone on you. He also does damage from the sky. Flyers have always been good in this game, but are generally kind of kept in check, I suppose. Like Human Torch, for example. And I guess the big reason as we wait.
I wonder if we're gonna see Torch comps from Americas. Are we gonna see any Torch? You think we're gonna see any Torch Ultron comps in America? Maybe not. Probably not.
We do. Like,
I kind of want to see some though.
Gambit and Elsa. But they're not
because if Shiki could play that shit,
right? Like
and like
Human Torch, which is disgusting.
Potentially get what,
that was
third overall
I think we're
in the tournament, maybe second if they beat Heretics.
But there are countermeasures, and there's also some things that enable them a little bit more. Whereas in the past, I think Human Torch, just no matter what was on the field besides him, was just disgusting.
And they play well into a bunch of different
This is a long break.
The beauty of, like, and that's
this is a very long break.
Available. Gambit and Elsa both can kind of fit into virtually.
We're yapping a lot. Are we trying to get him into?
So
are we trying to get the guy?
And then sometimes you just
the interview. Are we trying to get an interview?
Those two characters, you don't even need them sometimes.
That what's happening?
Elsa, but
well, I have good news, guys. The waffling may stop. We do have our interview ready. So let's bring Mask in for a quick chat.
That's what I figured.
An entertaining performance we got this.
That's what I figured. Mask.
Mask, congratulations.
Beast mode.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Dude, someone tell him to put his camera down.
Talk about how you got it done, though, because
yo, put your camera down, bro.
This is an opponent you're very familiar with, right? And you always seem to have the upper hand against them. Was there anything that you learned from what they've shown us in the playoffs that you had to take into consideration, or were you able to just rock up with the same game?
Put the camera down, please.
It was sort of a bit of the same game plan. Obviously, Regis is a very good player, very talented. Our goal is to make sure he is unable to play the game, and I think we did a very good job at, you know, shutting him down, and you know, just kept the same game plan basically.
I mean, like Mask, like you're playing.
Oh, Zoe's streaming.
That plays a lot of Thor is like Navi or whatever, where like Trust Me goes it sometimes. But like for you, I feel like you whip it out a lot more than people will like kind of expect. Like why the hell are you going
whipping
Thor
it out?
And then like you know maybe is there alternatives, or are you just like I think Thor's best here?
Thor is Thor. It's pretty fun. I think you can definitely be best in slots at times. Other times I definitely do troll picking him, but I think
definitely be trolling, bro.
You can't ignore him. You know, you have to get through him. You have to get around.
True.
You have to do something. So I think it's a very good pick. Very fun to play. So
is there? Just kind of piggybacking off that, and congrats, by the way. We were talking about how your team is incredibly fun to watch, and I think you're.
I love
you're
watching
the one
Yeah We
that's
Lost
playing
play.
in the Americas region at all. So the question is piggybacking off that is there times where you feel like he struggles, and is it specific hero based or is it just comp?
I think it's my own playstyle, to be honest. You know, when I first picked up Thor, the way we intended for me to play it is very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't get a lot of
My
resources.
teammates, they have to, like, you know, bounce off of me, and I give them opportunities, and you know, we go from there.
Beautiful.
Oh, Zoe's muted. Zoe's muted. Guys, Zoe's muted.
Get her.
Never mind, I'm muted because I
I
had
just said something.
we're sick of it. Okay, what I wanted to ask was very insightful. You guys are running so many like unorthodox compositions,
Unmuted.
right? And heroes.
We're saved.
Is
We're
there
saved,
any
chat.
that's reining you in? Has there ever been? Is any of your players like the voice of reason will go like, "That's taking it too far. You can't play that."
Nah. Everything's an option.
Nah.
Everything's an option.
You know,
I love that.
you might see Widow, Mantis, Wanda, Squirrel Girl. You might see something. You know, we got a lot of stuff cooking up still. You know, we're struggling finding scripts,
Beautiful.
but you know, once we get that rolling, we're gonna see like
Struggling finding scrims. I feel bad, dude. Just
Wanna
fucking
do-
someone scrim YWL, bro. Scrim them, man. What are we doing?
More from you and the squad, and of course, you continue your run in the lower bracket now. One last question: 100 Thieves or Sentinels? Is there a team you would rather face off against?
Don't matter to us.
Not really. I'm just hoping for a good game for both of them. You know, match 5, map 5 banger. You know.
That's right. That's what we're all signed up for. Thank you so much for joining me. Best of
Map
luck in
5
the next
banger.
match, and,
Sen
good.
versus 100 Thieves.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, bud. What a beauty.
What
That
a
was awesome.
what a gorgeous human being. And what great insight. I do love that nothing is off limits for them.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear, because that's, you know, like, that's what we always hope. They're joining the server, and we're like, we might be in for something crazy. That's the kind of energy you always have when they are in the.
I said
maps.
Wanda,
So I
Squirrel
hope
Girl.
they can
Dude, if
exactly
Yeah We Lost plays
win.
fucking,
Now
if
they-
Yeah We Lost legitimately runs a Wanda or Squirrel Girl composition, bro, I'll shave my fucking head. I'll shave my fucking head. I don't care.
Quick break, so
There's no way they're fucking gonna run a Wanda or Squirrel Girl comp that they have like legit, not just troll pick it and they just play it. Like they actually run the comp and like win a point with it or some shit. We're fucking trolling here, bro. We trolling, bro. Hello? What the fuck? Hey, yo. Oh. All right. I think they're going to run for a 5-minute break or a 3-minute break. We'll see. I'm going to run a 3-minute ad on Purple app. AKA Twitch. I'm going to run a 3-minute ad on Twitch, guys. Let's see how long their break is. However long their break is, I'm gonna run it so we don't get pre-rolls. I don't want pre-rolls for people joining the chat. I do like the hit noise on this. The hit noise on this is pretty good. Okay, 3-minute ad then. We're gonna run a 3-minute. We're gonna run a 3-minute. We need a double Vanguard season. I agree. I would love a double Vanguard season. I just don't think they'll do it. I don't think they're man enough to do a double Vanguard season. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Sentinels, 100 Thieves is on. Has Phoenix been pick or ban Ignite so far? Phoenix has not been pick and ban, but she's been picked. She's not pick ban. She's been picked though. Like, I think she's the go-to hit scan duelist for a lot of people. Certain teams will play Phoenix and certain won't. Like, she's still the best hit scan duelist. I feel like DP ended up being all 3 roles. They might do it. I don't think they'll do an all 3 role season. I think DP was the exception in my mind. I think Deadpool was the exception, not the rule. I could see a double Vanguard season, maybe Devil Dinosaur and Cyclops being double Vanguard. I mean, we need more Vanguards. We need more Vanguards, we need more strategists, so why not?
Welcome back to the Marvel Rivals Ignite America's preseason playoffs day 3. Zoe here, joined by Dogman and Iron Ship. We're about to set the stage.
I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what it's supposed to be for Season 8, right? Season 8, 8.5?
Sentinels. And this is an El Clasico, an esports El Clasico, if you will. That's not just like in Marvel Rivals. That's like across the board, everywhere they face off against.
Sen versus 100 Thieves.
Good
Sen versus 100 Thieves.
Top dogs. They're considered teams that need to win it. Now, they have played each other in the regular season in week 2, and 100 Thieves took that convincingly. Like, it was a 2-0 beatdown. Yeah. But we do have to say there are some weeks in between that, and obviously we got a different look at both of those teams.
Sentinels and 100 Thieves both look better. That's the thing. They both look better.
Let's talk about what we learned from
will that change anything?
Meetings. Starting with the week 2 meeting, what gave 100 Thieves the edge there?
Yeah, so for 100 Thieves on week 2, if we're talking early on, honestly, I think it was Sentinels really just...
Yusha's a goat, though. Yusha's really good.
Because I think Sentinels just weren't in their bag at all. They just weren't playing as a unit, as we see Sentinels on the screen here. But we've seen a lot of a different team, just in general, recently from Sentinels. They look way more locked in. Thieves... You know, they tried to do some more unique stuff early on. They tried to run these triple comps, stuff that they're not as confident in, but now they're locking back in to their more, you know, trusted comps.
Sentinels just plays their own game, bro. They don't care. Not in like a yeah, we lost way, but
they were locked in against Shock. They looked like their old selves, and we had
they kind of just play like what they're comfortable with, like the old meta stuff.
Was put back in the mix, right? Prior to that,
Korova looked good. Korova looked good. I will say Korova looked good, bro.
Didn't work out for them against Energy.
Korova's cloak, man. It's just that much better.
If we're losing map 1, Korova is in. That's what he shared with us in that post-match interview, Dogman, and clearly the vibes were high after the Korova swap in, and they just edged it out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The vibes were good. The Korova comes in, gives them that juice
the vibes
they kind of needed, and they are kind of that vibes-based team for sure. Like, in right now, the main thing is that
How many times are we gonna
Dominus
say
is playing
vibes?
kind of another level. I think he's
Take a
been
shot,
doing such
guys. Take a shot.
strong job for this team. Always has been. He's kind of the star player for most of these squads, but I think he's that sort of rock that everybody needs on that Sentinel.
I want
squad.
Self to win, bro.
He gives him that juice.
I low-key want 100 Thieves victory. I want to see 100 Thieves. Yeah, we lost.
Know what to expect from each and every single one of those players.
I want to see it.
Self being the new guy on the block has been filling big shoes and did so well. Delena and Self have really been such an impressive, powerful duelist combo.
Yeah, and I think Winnie's looked really good too. I think Winnie on the back lines looks strong. One of those White Fox lock-ins that is consistently very impressive. I'll say Vinny on the Groot has been super strong, but I will say obviously
I wish esports teams have more marketing presence, personality, or get more people to root. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players need to work on their
at least time. But yeah, the whole
social media presence, I would say. They have personalities, we just don't see it, unfortunately. I think they just need to work on like their streaming and their content side of stuff. There are some players, I think like Karova is really funny. You watch his content. A lot of the YWL guys that make content can be funny.
For 100 Thieves, the only problem for them and most of these teams, honestly, outside of Swamp Gaming and Team Liquid Citadel, is that they all look a little pedestrian comparatively, right? It's not even necessarily.
Dogman got the drip on, son.
Liquid Citadel and Swamp Gaming are just so good. So for 100 Thieves, they've improved. They're getting better at like that rogue stuff too when necessary, and that's kind of the way forward for them. I think as long as they continue adding a little bit more diversity in their composition, they'll get better.
Yeah, we talked about adding diversity for both of those, right? Sentinels, the main critique we had. Well, first was, I think we have the wrong read on the meta here. And then the second was, we need more depth.
Remember that one team who had the Twitter drama? 100 Thieves and Sentinels, yeah. Both of them.
Seem to be prioritizing playing triple strat.
Yes.
That's what
both of them
have been gravitating towards with an Ultron in the mix. Do you expect to see them both trying this here? Or are we going to see a mirror match of sorts?
I don't know that we will see a mirror
We're sticking on the pictures for a long time.
They both, it seems like, have gone back to.
I don't know if I like.
Understand that they just want to play what's coming.
We're getting mugged.
But yes, I mean it's definitely on the table. It's not that it's not, because they do think it's a strong pick. As we see, Krakoa is the next map we're going to. Domination is going to be a big tone setter. I personally am just amped because these two teams have faced off so many times in just our casting career alone. It's been so fun to watch. But it has been very back and forth, and I know the fans get super excited. But I think Domination kind of sets a tone for which team is better in communication today, and that could change things as we move forward in this best of 5.
Absolutely, and I think for 100 Thieves side, obviously we've seen, I think Sentinels be better at that sort of Ultron stuff, and then for the opposite side, I think 100 Thieves have been better playing a lot of these sort of divey comps with the Daredevil and stuff. I would like both teams.
100 Thieves also plays the group comps really well.
Don't get through, or if
I hate Domination.
Does get through,
I low-key like Dom. I don't know. I like Domination. It's a fun game mode. It's fast.
If we can go for these hard dives. And I think
but
that kind of comes down to
I can see why some people don't like it. I think a lot of people don't like Dom, though.
I think that there's some strengths that slightly lean specific ways, but it all comes down to that.
We do need a new game mode. I think we need a new competitive game mode, which I hope they're going to bust out soon. I want the new comp game mode, guys.
Really every team that lost.
Yeah. 100 Thieves going up against Swamp Gaming yesterday. They let the Mantis through alongside the Elsa, and that caused a world of pain.
Yeah, it's less forgiving than Convoy. That is true. Fights are faster, and it's you only have like so many fights. If you like Brawl, it's bread and butter. I mean, I like playing like Hulk and stuff, so for sure I'm like maybe a little biased. But I play Magneto and Strange too.
Honestly, I think 100 Thieves might have the edge here just based on the fact that there is so much tape on Sentinels playing such a close 5-map series against Energy.
Yeah.
Whereas for Sentinels, if they're looking at the tape from 100 Thieves against Swamp Gaming,
Sin City.
There's not much you can derive from that.
Yeah, but that could be a momentum shift. There's so many different avenues we could say this could play out, right? And momentum is just in the dumpster. Who knows? But,
whatever narrative you want to follow.
Yeah, I think it's worth calling out. I do think just historically, 100 Thieves have a better Wolverine option with Self and DD, which I think is very strong should a lot of the meta stuff be burnt out or banned out, right? So that is an advantage, but Sentinels, you just never can give up on this team for some reason in these high-stakes situations. They clutch up, they look clean despite the composition that they're on, and we saw that yesterday.
We're going to see it. We're going to see
I
it.
think you're right. Like, the Wolverine's been impactful. Like, realistically, for both squads, and this we were talking about earlier, Zoe, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite because I know the ban phase does matter, but specifically against, like, the top teams, too, like, if you're just kind of
all right,
you're not.
I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some water.
Like, I think I saw people, like, for example, clowning on Remix and stuff in their game, but to be honest, like, if your team is getting dominated, like, it's not going to come down to the ban phase at that point. They're just a better team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it do be like that. I love the insight we heard from Vinny in the post-match interview after 100 Thieves won against, who was that, Space Station, I believe? Yeah, where we kind of asked about the banning and, like, how the team is, like, tackling that. And he said that when Terra was with the team, that it was very much like just Terra took control of it. And now it's like a little bit of everyone is like engaging in it. So like it's really team decisions, and then in game also it's just so collaborative, right? With TTK calling the tempo, Vinny calling the engages, and the backline being ult tracking, and just like they work as a unit. I think that is just very interesting insight. I would love to hear how Sentinels is handling the bans and also like everything that's going on in game.
Woo! Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, it's also cool. Like, you know, you mentioned, you know, shout out to Kurova coming in from Mirror. I'm curious, you know, you believe Kurova's probably going to keep playing today. I'm looking forward to seeing what that ends up being.
Yeah, I think Kurova's going to keep playing. Why wouldn't he? They won with Kurova. If we send Mirror in, we're trolling, no? I feel.
But right now, 100% win rate, right, at this point in the tournament. And
Can't argue with the numbers.
Can't argue with the numbers. Yeah, small sample size.
That's data, baby. That's data.
No, you know, it does have the availability to pull out the, less so Adam comp. I don't think we're going to see that, to be completely honest with you, but is a very strong main strat. Can play the Luna well, and I think Luna's kind of been shown, at least, you know, even from teams like, yeah, we lost, that can be a threat, not only in the healing front, but just in the damage front, hitting that team up with White Fox, which they can play very well too. It's tricky. It's tricky. There's a lot of option here.
Dude, right now, by the way, I think we're getting a little bit of delay out of both teams. Not only, well, it's just always 100 Thieves matches, first of all. Like, they just take forever to get in lobby or something. But I don't think it was them this time around. Regardless, finally they get their player in the lobby. So it's not on us over at production, okay? It's on the players to get in faster, okay?
That's right.
Good
not prod.
Rest assured, we are not holding the game hostage. We also want to see the action.
Not prod, guys.
So
Prod R. You think Luna's back in the meta? I think Luna Fox is really good. I think Luna Fox is a really good anti-dive backline that more people need to play.
Last time around in a best of 5, it was a best of 3, so we know that can shift a lot.
Double charm is busted.
I am excited to see this one getting on its merry way. We just got word it is ready indeed. So let's.
I love me some cheese, bro.
Sentinels going up against our 100 Thieves.
All right, my friend, the beginning of the classic matchup. You know, this is something as old as time at this point in terms of MarvelRivals history. And we're going to see who makes history today by adding another W, notching the belt a bit here against their quote-unquote storied opponent. We're going to see the ban off the rip of Elsa, and that, to me, is no surprise.
Definitely respecting, a lot of the play style from both squads with the Elsa. In that, how strong it can be. The Loki ban comes through on the opposite side, though, knowing that 100 Thieves also have played well around that. You mentioned Winnie earlier, has done well on that as well, playing around their, even Cloak and Dagger stuff if they want to necessarily, but also it's just been, both teams just have such good Loki play at points, and it's matching the opposite side. So it wouldn't surprise me if we just have Mirrors actually coming through. So very different from the last matchup that we had. The Daredevil ban would be smart considering Self and how good he's played. And for 100 Thieves, they have a few options, I think. They can kind of go multiple directions now at this point, if they want to get potentially a one-sided tank pool. I think just because of the fact that they haven't played as strong. Okay, they did do that. It's because, they haven't shown like a good Daredevil kind of playstyle just yet. I know Rye's good at Daredevil, but they haven't played well around it.
Yeah, he hasn't really been playing it. He's flexed to it at the end of certain matches, I believe. But yeah, it's not a starting point at all. So definitely, something to think about there. But we are going to see the lock-in and Mantis.
100 Thieves.
Sandals definitely wants that triple backline composition. Right, Amazing likely will be on that Mantis. We could see Ultron. And, they could try to ban that now, right? Like, the idea would be, do we want to try to remove that and mess with it a little bit? Yep, there it is.
Yeah, it makes sense. Good call. And let's see. 100 Thieves let that go through with the Gambit and the Mantis. So letting the supports or the strategists come through on Sentinel's side, and they get the Invisible Woman Protect, which is kind of, sort of fallen through on the wayside, but I guess Doctor Strange was also still available, and I don't think Sentinels have really played Doctor Strange Mantis stuff, but no Invisible Woman banned either, so you can still
actually, guys,
team up. So
I'm gonna end stream here.
And for Sentinel's side, do they want to go for that Doctor Strange?
I gotta take care of something. I just got a text message.
But I wonder if
thanks for stopping by.